it quits on the potential for severe weather. So we were expecting that by late morning, cells developing, and we're seeing that verified. Again, the reason I'm talking nonstop is we have a tornado warning that's been issued for parts of Northern Virginia, and that includes Culpeper, parts of Fauquier County here, off to the west, and it looks like it's, there you go, you can see, maybe we can just zoom back on me, we're not seeing much in that live shot. You can see that it's racing off and will cross 66 shortly and be making its way up into Loudoun County before long. So it looks like Taylor's doing a close-up here, and we're trying to verify whether or not we actually have a tornado on the ground. At this hour, at this moment, at this minute, this is just a radar-indicated tornado, so we have no verification on the ground. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't take precautions. You should, and if you're in the area that's warned here out to the west, you're going to want to make sure that you are in the lowest spot in your house. You know, take it seriously. Take cover. And just a reminder to the rest of us in the Washington area that we're likely to see more scenes like this throughout the day as we're setting up. Perhaps we can show the elevated risk, Taylor, for severe weather across the region later today. Yeah, see that area in red? The Storm Prediction Center, our friends out in Norman, Oklahoma, have highlighted this area for the past several days for an elevated risk for tornadic activity and damaging winds, and we're already seeing that verify in the 10 o'clock hour. So wave after wave of rain showers. We may get a break for a few hours. You might even get a little sunshine. There you go. But look at 1:30. The potential here is that some of these cells within our approaching cold front could contain very gusty winds and tornadic activity. There you go. That's a live shot out in Bluemont, so that would be a little further to the north and west of where our tornado warning is at the moment. You can see the dark clouds. You can really see they're racing off to the north as well, as we have a very strong southerly wind. We had a warm front come through earlier today, and it will give us kind of wave after wave of showers. Okay, leave it right there, Taylor. Perhaps we can show that. I wanted to show it about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. There you go, 7:30. That will be the actual front starting to approach. And depending how action-packed the afternoon is, depending if we get some sunshine going later today, this line right here could form what we call bow echo, and that could cause additional strong thunderstorm activity and some very gusty winds. I think the higher risk later this evening is not for tornadic activity, it's for straight line winds that could approach 60, 70 miles per hour. So we got to be ready for that as that works through. And then look at that. Could we end it with a little snow? We could for parts of the area here off to the north. All right, we are with you here because we have a tornado warning, and I just want to, even though you know the tornado warning is in a single part of our region here, I just want to remind everybody this is the risk that our entire region has later this afternoon. Additional tornado warnings could be issued with winds that could gust up 70 to 80 miles an hour. Right through about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. I showed you on that Futurecast there just a few moments ago, the cold front that's expected to come through early this evening. So until we can get that front east of us, we're going to stand the continued risk here for severe weather to really blossom very quickly. That's the other point. And an important reason that you want to be checking your radar. If you're working outside today, you know, you could be look just fine, just kind of overcast here. Let's go back to the radar if we could. And suddenly just, you know, having a risk of a severe thunderstorm or tornado knocking on your door pretty quick. We watched this one blossom, Taylor, in what, the past 45 minutes or so. And you can see it just racing up to the northeast. So just quickly again, tornado warning in effect there to our west, just working through Marshall, Upperville until 11 a.m. It's now 10:45, so this warning will be in effect for another 15 minutes. Weather Service indicating circulation here. And I haven't seen it for myself, the circulation, but I can tell you that the winds have approached 60 miles per hour with this particular storm. So with or without a tornado, it's a very dangerous storm. And it will be racing up into Loudoun County, a little further to the west there as well, just to the east of Winchester, and working up along 81 shortly. So if you're in this area, be prepared for a quick moving storm, quick downpours, you know, reduced visibilities if you're trying to drive. Take shelter if you're working outside. I know there's a lot of farming interests out here, the horse country out towards Middleburg, and you want to make sure that, you know, if you're working outside, you are finding a safe place to be as this storm passes, because as I mentioned, already has a history of producing damaging winds, and we could have downed trees and power lines and that kind of thing with or without a tornado. All right, you want to mention what you're seeing right there, Taylor?
All right, we can go back to velocity
Yep.
even, and this is like typically where we see the reds and the greens kind of come together with these storms, and that's where we can usually signify that we might be seeing some kind of rotation. That's why it usually is radar indicated. I am in constant communication with the National Weather Service on the chat right now, and I'm not getting any kinds of reports currently, but we're staying on top of it. Where it looks like they are about to issue a tornado watch for a good part of the area, so this will extend a little bit further outside of that warned area that we're watching right now. So again, not seeing a whole lot in terms of velocity, in terms of any kind of rotation right now that we're seeing, but again, sometimes we can't see everything. So if you have any reports at home, that would be great to hear. If you can take any kind of videos or anything like that safely, it would be nice. But as you can tell, this isn't the end of the threat. This is all going to be ongoing for several hours, and yeah, I think that the afternoon activity is going to get a little bit more active, right?
Yeah, things are only going to kind of pick up their pace here over the next couple hours as the cold front starts to move on in. But I just want to emphasize again what Taylor said. The pocket we're focused on is right here, but really the entire area is at risk here over the next couple hours. Maybe we can show you a pocket that's starting to fire up. Yeah, right across southern Maryland there. It looks like down towards St. Mary's County, western, across the Potomac there, the northern neck, we're starting to see some increased activity. And again, we're watching these systems. The atmosphere is so unstable that these storms can really fire up quickly. I know sometimes in the summer months we talk about storms and, you know, we watch them build all day out to the west and then we get a line of storms coming through. Well, these are in such a conducive atmosphere to thunderstorms and to severe weather that it just doesn't take a lot to start to fire storms up and to cause some issues. I'm now seeing, and I want to mention, this is the area that's warned right here, just to the south, right along there. We're almost in the last 10 minutes since I've been on the air here with that tornado warning. That area is starting to fire up. So we're going to have to watch that line very carefully. And that will, again, approach our western suburbs shortly. The storms are racing off to the north and east at about 60 miles an hour. Very heavy rain being reported. Yeah, we're down in St. Mary's County there in Leonardtown. That's a live look. I mentioned that we're seeing some storms fire up in southern Maryland as well. You can see that in that live shot. The rain's starting to come down. No advisories, best I can tell, right, in St. Mary's County?
Right. No, you are absolutely correct right now.
Okay, but we'll watch that area carefully because that could be the next one that has some advisories, issues, some watches and warnings, and we'll watch for that shortly. It's just rain there. Across the immediate Washington area, inside the Beltway, we are doing fine at the moment. We're just cloudy, but we do have a risk. And this is why, you know, you probably heard about it for the last 3 days, and we're wondering to yourself, you know, why is everybody going home early from school? Because we're at a moderate risk, and I know that doesn't sound like much. You know, moderate sounds like a B in you know, your high school grades. But in the weather world, moderate risk is a very elevated risk. We do not see that terribly often in the Washington area, and this is something you would more likely see out across midsections of the country as the Storm Prediction Center putting that out in the last 24 hours. So damaging winds, we're getting reports of that, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and now we've had a confirmed tornado warning. We do not have a confirmed tornado yet, but a confirmed tornado warning with a radar indicated tornado for parts of Fauquier County and down towards Culpeper County in the past half hour. Yeah, there's you can see the storm kind of encompassing the tornado warning. It's going to be racing off to the north and east. And just a heads up here, I'm literally watching this this line blossom. Yeah. As I'm on air with you, but you can see the northern extent now stretching up through Winchester, up 81. We'll be up near Martinsburg shortly, and then it extends to the south and to the east. It's all west of 95, and we'll be racing through our western suburbs here shortly. Okay, anything new with our weather service?
Nothing new right now. Again, tornado warning still ongoing. It looks like the severe thunderstorm warning that's extending outside of that tornado warning, it's highlighted in red, so it's showing that there is at least a possibility that this tornado warning gets extended for a larger area. So okay. We're keeping a close eye.
This is fascinating. Now we're out in Bluemont, and we're looking to the east in that live shot, and we are literally watching that storm. You can see the rain shield starting to approach some of the hills there to the east. That's looking back towards Tyson's Corner. Know that shot well. And you can see the rain shield starting to approach. So we're seeing the northern edge of some of that storminess that we're talking about in that live camera. And I would expect that the visibilities will continue to kind of fall apart there as that storm passes by over the next hour or so. Honestly, in the next 45 minutes, it's racing so far and so quickly off to the north and east, it may be out of this area in the next hour. We are nonstop here because we got tornado warning, and this is what we were worried about. The concern was as soon as the noon hour, and I know we're a little early for that, but Mother Nature is on her own schedule. We have a tornado warning that has been issued out to our west. If you're just joining us, out along 66 there, includes Upperville and Marshall at last look, and in effect until 11 o'clock this morning. Want to emphasize we do not have a confirmed tornado on the ground, and we are monitoring many sources for any confirmed tornado, but even a radar indicated tornado is something you got to take seriously. You want to get shelter immediately. I know there's a lot of agricultural interests out here and farmland and horse country, and just make sure that, if you've got, relatives or friends out working in the fields, that they are in a place where they can get to safety very quickly, because the storm is racing off to the north and east. It will just kind of be upon you before you know it there. I can see it's now raining out in Bluemont, and we are literally watching that storm that you can see in the bottom right-hand corner in live action there in the live camera as it's racing off to the north. Big picture, we continue to be dealing with a tornado warning. It looks like, we just had tornado watch issued for our region. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, it looks like they're still trying to get everything together, exactly what they're going to say. But yes, a tornado watch has been issued for the whole area. I'm still waiting for the official notification because our maps updated before we got the actual notification of it. But I'm sure this is going to be ongoing with at least 3 rounds of severe weather possible for today. This is just the first one. So I'm not surprised by this by any means. It looks like the threat goes up anytime after noon today, even though, like you said, Tucker, we're right before that. And the specific warning that we're watching outside of the watch is ongoing through at least 11 a.m. right now. So it looks like they're going to continue that as it currently looks. So let's take you back to it right now. And then that watch kind of engulfs outside of that. We also have the severe thunderstorm warning, which is ongoing through 11:15 a.m. That's more or less the biggest concern with that is actually the strong damaging wind gusts could reach up to 60 miles per hour. So we're watching this line very closely because it has materialized so quickly within the last 30 minutes or so, and I'm really going to get a little bit concerned about the straight line wind that could be coming out with this. We're looking for official reports, but outside of that, we still have this tornado warning.
Yeah, and Taylor just mentioned here off to the north. I mean, we're literally, since we've kind of gone nonstop with you about 15 minutes ago, we're watching this line of showers and thunderstorms blossom. Our atmosphere is just really juiced up and ready to create strong thunderstorms, and we're watching that. This is the reason that you really got to pay close attention to the weather. We're watching this line extend now to the south so quickly that we're not going to be able to keep up with the warnings and the advisories that will likely get issued along this line. So I just want to let you know, if you're to the west of D.C., this line will be impacting you in the form of showers, thunderstorms, and potentially severe weather, including a tornado, if you're in that area that's warned, over the next 45 minutes to an hour. The one bright spot in this forecast, the storms are moving so quickly to the north and east at about 60 miles an hour. They're racing. The threat should ebb a little bit here shortly, and unfortunately, because we're expecting waves of showers and thunderstorms, the threat really won't wane completely until later this evening. We may see rounds of this where we get severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, and then we get a break, and then we kind of reset and do it all over again. That's a live shot. I'm not sure where we are. Is that Martinsburg? Oh, that's Lynchburg. That's well off to the south and west. Yeah, maybe we can get a little closer. If we can find something in Fauquier County, that'd be great. Again, that's really, you can see the lightning flashing there. That's Bluemont, and that is really showing you the story here. That system is passing just to the south and to the east of Bluemont. There's another look, and we're in Loudoun County there, and you can see the low overcast and the storm system as it approaches. I think it's starting to rain in that live shot. But again, we're nonstop here. We're under tornado warning until 11 a.m. In addition, the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued a tornado watch for our entire region. Taylor, what time is that good till?
Looks like it's good until 7 p.m.
7 p.m. So for the next 8 hours, we're under a tornado watch across the region. Want to mention that we're starting to see several areas fire up. I'm watching that northern part of St. Mary's County carefully. That will approach Calvert County. You're getting downpours there as well. And it wouldn't take a lot because there we go, I got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued to the south. Maybe, Taylor, you can tell us about that. Do you see that?
Yeah, we're just getting this in. It's ongoing through 11:45. It's located 7 miles southeast of Culpeper right now. It is moving really quickly, though, to the northeast at around 40 miles per hour. Biggest concern with this storm, but this is why the severe thunderstorm warning was issued, is because the peak wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. So if you didn't tie anything down already, you're going to need to do so if you're outside of this warned storm right now, just because I do think outside of the tornado threat, the damaging wind gusts will certainly be a huge impact throughout the rest of the day. So we are tracking this out for you. Again, it's moving out. It's moving extremely quickly. So if you can seek shelter, if you're located in any of these highlighted areas right now, please do so. If you're located to the northeast of these areas, again, just make sure you get into your house quickly. You don't want to be stuck outside during this line coming through.
Right. I really want to emphasize that storm, that severe thunderstorm that's just to the south and east of our tornado warning, that literally those storms blossomed in the last 15 minutes. So, the reason why the Storm Prediction Center put us under such an elevated risk for severe weather, the atmosphere is just primed and juiced here for additional storms to develop. And they can, in this environment, there's so much buoyancy, they can develop very, very quickly and go severe very quickly. And we're literally witnessing that as we speak here. We are under a tornado warning, not here in D.C., but out to the west. That includes parts of Fauquier County, Culpeper County until 11 a.m. We do not have a confirmed tornado on the ground. We have a radar-indicated tornado. The Weather Service concerned there is some spin here. But either way, we do have winds reported at 60 miles per hour in those areas shaded in yellow out to the west. If you have a phone, I'm sure, and you're out in this area, it is starting to give you alerts. Please take the alerts seriously as these storms are moving very quickly. And in some cases, in fact, look at that. We just extended again there, Taylor. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning that extends all the way up into northern Maryland. And a brand new tornado warning. Okay, perhaps you can share with that one.
All right, so these things are popping up ahead of what.
But yes, let me just show you. There's a brand new tornado warning right here. It looks like it encompasses parts of Loudoun County.
Yep.
And tornado warning there until 11:45. Severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued to 11:45 as well. I also want to add that the entire region now, and we're expecting this, is under a tornado watch until 7 p.m. So things, unfortunately, are just going to continue to kind of go downhill here locally as we get into the afternoon hours. We're starting to get some daytime heating. We've had some breaks in the clouds, and we have just an atmosphere up ahead of a very strong cold front. I mean, this is a violent clash of the seasons here. You've got springtime energy. We're going to be up near 70 with a lot of water in the atmosphere. High dew points are in the low 60s right now, and they've got winter storm warnings right now up near Chicago with temperatures in the 20s. So the clash of the seasons is why we are under such, the threat of severe weather here for the next couple of hours. At this moment, most of the action remains out to the west. We've just had an additional tornado warning, and I'll let Taylor share with you the information on that. Looks like you're getting it in as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. I'm reading everything for you. So this new tornado warning that we're watching is actually ongoing through about, it looks like it's through 11:30 a.m. It engulfs southeastern Loudoun County, also parts of north central Fauquier County, also parts of Prince William County. It looks like they may have extended this to parts of Fairfax County too. So yeah, we have back-to-back. Looks like the other one that we've been following for the last 30 minutes is due to expire at 11 a.m. So we have another like 30 seconds left of that one. Our new focus is the second one that was just issued too. Outside of the tornado warning, I know that's why we're on here right now. We do have extensive wind moving through with this line coming through that's really materialized over the last 30 minutes. So it's very impressive. Again, if you are in the line of this track of storms, it's a completely broken line, definitely seek shelter as soon as possible. You don't want to be caught outside in this. Again, although we have that tornado threat, we also have the ongoing, wind threat. And that's not going to come to an end either. So we have several rounds of storms that will start to move through. This is round one. We'll have two more rounds this afternoon, too. So no surprise that they did issue this tornado watch outside of the warnings we have ongoing.
Okay, let's go back to the warning. I want to show it to you. Includes parts of Fairfax County now, and Fauquier County and Loudoun County. Right there, brand new tornado warning. Literally in the last 20 minutes, we've watched a line of storms really fire up right out to our west here, and we're seeing extensive severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So, you know, it's all kind of happening at once here. This is not, unfortunately, the main event. As Taylor just mentioned, we have potentially a couple rounds of storms later this afternoon. We're under tornado warning, that area in red. Want to emphasize, and just, you know, we all know the game with tornado warnings, or if you don't, I'm going to share it with you. Get to the lowest place in your residence. If you have a basement, get there. Take it seriously. I know we get a lot of tornado warnings, but you never know when you're actually going to be in the tornado, or it will impact your neighborhood, and just better to play it safe here. In addition, there could be some very gusty winds, some straight line winds that approach 60 to 70 miles per hour in some of these storms. Those could cause power outages, down trees, power lines. Don't, you know, listen, these storms are racing through. Don't go outside, and if you see a down power line, go near it, because they could be live. But all of this is racing off now to the north and to the east at about 60 miles per hour. That severe thunderstorm warning has been extended to the Maryland-Pennsylvania border. Now includes Frederick, looks like western portions of Montgomery County, Loudoun County under that severe thunderstorm warning. And then we have additional warnings to our south as we've watched more storms kind of blossom there to our south. Big picture, we're under a tornado watch now until 7 p.m. for our entire region. There's a really nice visual of that storm that's passing to the east of Bluemont. That camera is pointing to the east. It's looking back towards Tyson's Corner, as I mentioned. And that just 10 minutes ago, we could see well to the west, and you can really see that storm passing through to our west as we speak. There's another live shot. I suspect we're in Loudoun County. You can see sort of the ominous clouds there off to our south, and that is our approaching storm system. So, you know, if you don't need to be on the roads, if you can just kind of wait these storms out, just do so, because conditions will deteriorate in a hurry. Yeah, there's just an unbelievable scene there. You can see the ominous look to our cloud cover as these storms start to really take shape. And look, at this moment, Bluemont's in the worst of that. And you can see for yourself here the intensity of the rain that's coming through. In addition, we've had winds reported 60 miles per hour, and we continue to be under a tornado warning to the east of Bluemont for parts of Fauquier County, now Loudoun County, western Fairfax County under a tornado warning until 11:30 this morning. So all of this is sort of round one. We'll have a round two and a round three later today. Thank you. That's a helpful map showing the winds now gusting to about 34. They're out of the south. But let's remember that within a storm, you could have a gust 50, 60, 70 miles per hour as the winds are really going to be blowing here in some of the storms. That particular graphic won't pick up some of the intensity here. Elevated risk there in red, and that issued by the Storm Prediction Center a few days ago. And just a reminder that the area there in red has the highest chances for severe weather, and that's where we're seeing it right now. But if you're in the Brown area, if you're a viewer on the Eastern Shore, if you're one of our friends that are watching out to the west in the along 81 there, Winchester, Martinsburg, you're getting severe weather right now. Even further west out towards Cumberland and out into West Virginia, you're under a slight risk for severe weather. So all of us need to continue to monitor the trends here. It's a very dynamic, a very energetic atmosphere as we're going to transition pretty violently here from a springtime pattern with temperatures near 70 later today, and a lot of moisture in the air, a lot of juice to fuel thunderstorms back to a winter pattern later tonight. Daytime highs tomorrow will only be about 40 degrees, so we're going to kind of violently throw things around later this afternoon. There's Futurecast. I know it doesn't look too crazy, but embedded in any of that, there could be severe thunderstorms and tornado warnings. And that is straight through 3:30. You can see we're doing additional activity. So that'll be round two mid-afternoon. And then the final round will come through later this evening with the actual frontal system. And believe it or not, we could end this day, start the day with tornado warnings and severe thunderstorms, and end the day with some snow showers across the area as that cold air races in. And we'll be back near freezing by tomorrow morning. So once again, we are talking about a sort of prolonged event here, with more tornado warnings expected. Again, the Weather Service just issued about 10 minutes ago a tornado watch for our entire region until 7 p.m. And I want to just throw it out there that I think the threat of storms will be in our region through about 8, 9 o'clock tonight, with additional tornado risk. And we've already seen verified we have not verified a tornado, but we have verified tornado warnings. We're now seeing 2 in our region, and we're likely to see more later today. And we've had winds reportedly up to 60 miles per hour. The fear here, with a very strong line of thunderstorms working through the region, is we see gusts 70 to 80 miles per hour. That's a tornado warning right there, and that includes the sort of central portions of Loudoun County, western portions of Fairfax. And notice the line of storms extend down now into the southern parts of Fauquier County, down for our viewers down to the south and west, Spotsylvania, places like Fredericksburg. You're going to have to monitor this very carefully. I'm not sure this particular line of storms will make it through or inside the beltway. I think this will generally stay to our west, but we're watching, in addition, storms blossom off to our south and east into southern Maryland. And we don't have any advisories out there, but I am seeing some pretty good downpours now in southern Anne Arundel County and parts of Calvert County. So, at any point, these storms are so dynamic and so sort of frenzied and energized. At any point, we could see additional tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings go up. Taylor?
All right, let's get a view of what's happening elsewhere across the area, especially to give Tucker a break right now. So this is ongoing. This new tornado warning we have going is ongoing through 11:30. Outside of that, we also have the severe thunderstorm warnings as well, which is ongoing currently until at least 11:15, if not 11:45 for some of you. So outside of the tornado risk, we also have the severe wind risk, which you can kind of see happening in Frederick right now with our live camera shaking a little bit. But we could see peak gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour associated with this specific line of storms coming together, and it's kind of bowing out a little bit. So that's why we're keeping a very close eye on this. It's not just a tornado threat, it's the wind threat too. Also, there's a live look in Leonardtown and also Bear Chase, Bluemont, like Tucker's been saying all morning. Again, that's a great view of that storm rolling through. You can see the blinding rainfall, which is lightened up a little bit behind the storm, and also you can't really see the wind, but it's out there for sure. So just a reminder, we're in this tornado warning. In that red polygon right there, that's ongoing through at least 11:30. We'll keep a close eye on that if it does get extended. So we try to also look at velocity, where the reds and the greens, that's the best way I can describe it, come together. We're not seeing a whole lot right now, but I think more or less there's we could see some kind of brief rotation with this tornado warned storm. So if you can, again, tornado safety, when we're under a warning, make sure you get into the interior parts of your house, stay safe, and just more or less get out of outside, get indoors, and that's going to be my best advice. You do not want to be in the line of any of this activity, regardless if you're in the tornado warned or not. Also, you can see those red polygons. That's extending the tornado watch, which is ongoing through 7 p.m. No surprise about this. I do think that we'll see this this threat ongoing. This is just round one of a line of storms that could move through in several rounds today. So we'll zoom it back in here, Tucker.
Yeah, and let me just, I want to mention very quickly, air travel here is going to be hampered shortly, if it's not already. If you're trying to catch a flight later, you want to make sure that this is not going to cause major delays here, because that storm is now approaching Dulles out there in Loudoun County. And again, this has really just blossomed in the last half hour or so. We've had reports of winds gusting 60 miles per hour, some very heavy downpours as we've watched our first line of showers and storms develop. I don't want to say a little earlier than expected, but on the earlier side of things here before the noon hour. And again, we've had 2 tornado warnings, including one that is still in effect until 11:30 this morning for western parts of Fairfax, now Loudoun County, central and eastern parts of Loudoun County, and northern parts of Fauquier County until 11:30. I haven't seen any signs of a definite tornado there through the radar, but whether there's a confirmed tornado or not, you want to take the threat of one, the warning, seriously, and make sure that you are ready to go. That is a rather ominous look there. You see how the line of showers and storms is lined up there? That's likely to cause, here, I'll try to show it to you. This right here, this line of storms right here, as it's the front edge of it, as that works through the region here, that is likely to produce some damaging winds, and we are likely to see some downed trees. We're sort of just on the onset of this day, and don't have any reports for you yet, but I can tell you that as this storm continues to track east, it will likely cause, with winds gusting 50 to 60 plus miles an hour, it will likely cause a lot of difficulties in the form of power outages. Yeah, there's a live look out at Dulles. You can see the camera shaking as that storm approaches. And again, that storm will be bearing down at Dulles here shortly with some very, very gusty winds. Winds over 60 miles per hour are dangerous. Our trees are just not built to handle 60 mile per hour wind gusts, especially when they're the straight line variety or tornadic, and down trees, down power lines, all that kind of thing, unfortunately, in play here, along with some very heavy downpours. I want to mention that as well. You can see that's a great scene of it. Very heavy downpours, which can make travel very difficult. So, we gave you a heads up in the last couple of days that we thought we were going to see severe weather, and it's already verifying here this morning. This is the reason why there were early dismissals, and in some cases, some of our school systems didn't have school today because of this threat of severe weather. Believe it or not, this round is round one. The Weather Service went ahead and issued a tornado watch for our entire region until 7 o'clock tonight. That was issued just a few minutes ago. So you really want to keep an eye to the sky, keep an eye to your Fox Local app, or just keep us on. We will stay on as long as we need to keep you safe throughout the day here, as the storm systems are going to just kind of roll one after another through the region here. Can we just zoom in real quick, Taylor, to the east? I just want to show we don't have any advisories to the south and east of us. Get into Prince George's County there and out towards Annapolis. But that storm has really started to fire up in just the last couple of minutes. Yep, right there. Oh. And it's certainly a possibility at any point that storm, too, could turn tornadic or give us a severe thunderstorm warning. So there's a lot happening all at once here, and we're trying to keep up with it. But the main event, let's go back to the main page. The main event is the tornado warning, which has been extended here. This is our second tornado warning for a radar-indicated tornado. It is this storm. The track is off to the north and to the east at 60 miles an hour. It is racing off to the north and east. And although we don't have a confirmed tornado on the ground, we do have confirmed winds over 60 miles per hour, and that is set to continue for the next hour or so. What are the yellow boxes? Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. That includes all of Loudoun County. Looks like it extends all the way to the north. Includes western Montgomery County, Frederick County, Washington County. You guys are all under that severe thunderstorm warning. In addition, there's another pocket down towards Spotsylvania that's under severe thunderstorm warning. And you can see for yourself the potential, well, I'll share with you, the potential damaging winds associated with the sort of front edge of this system is on the high side. There's already been reports of very gusty winds and torrential downpours as this is all coming through. So in addition to that, cloud-to-ground lightning, we have seen some flashes of lightning in some of our live cams. That is set to continue. And, unfortunately here, it's just the arsenal of springtime weather that's upon us now. Looks like a downpour now approaching Annapolis as well, so we'll continue to monitor that. You have any updates, Taylor?
Nothing right now. It looks like the tornado warning storm is, it's losing its circulation in terms of like what they're seeing out of the National Weather Service. So they're still keeping the warning ongoing for now. It's ongoing through 11:30. Outside of that, I think the biggest concern that at least we're seeing come in is the straight line wind coming in with this this line that's kind of bowing out a little bit. So peak gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. That's what I'm seeing. Blinding rainfall as this line does approach. Again, so even if you're not in the tornado warning storm, this is a very serious line that's coming through right now. So please, please, please get inside and just, you don't want to be stuck on the roads during this either. So that's the latest I'm seeing out of the National Weather Service.
Taylor, you mentioned Boeing. Maybe you can explain what that means, and I'll kind of point out what she's talking about. See, it almost looks like a bow, like bow and arrow. And you want to explain what that means?
Right. So when you see like a line kind of develop and then it bows out a little bit, that means that the winds have gotten really picked up. They've become more enhanced. This is one of the two threats we had been mentioning all morning long that would be a big concern today. And this is just for the first round of it. So again, we're looking at with the several rounds we'll see today. If anything does bow out, like we're seeing right now, peak gusts could reach up to 70, maybe even 80 miles per hour with this. So
so you want to take it absolutely as seriously as you can, and just take shelter, wait it out. We've been mentioning here for the past 45 minutes that the good news, if there is any, is the storms are moving so quickly. Yeah, you can really see that camera rocking and rolling out in Loudoun County, and that is, I'm not sure if Dulles is under that tornado warning or not. Perhaps you can tell me, Taylor. But either way, it's under a severe thunderstorm warning, and we will likely see winds gusting across Dulles Airport here shortly, 50 to 60 miles per hour. We'll try to get you some information on how strong the winds have been. Okay, Bluemont, guess what? 15 minutes ago, you couldn't see the chairs down in the front lawn there out at Bear Chase. So the visibility is already improving. That tells me two things. One, they've already had some severe weather move through. Two, they are seeing improved visibilities and storms moving so quickly that we're already seeing a break in Bear Chase. And that's what we're expecting. These storms are just ripping along at 60 miles per hour. It's not just us. You know, if you're trying to fly today, Georgia, South Carolina, all under tornado watches. We've had reports of tornadoes in North Carolina this morning down towards Georgia. That camera is really rocking and rolling there in Loudoun County. And again, parts of Loudoun County under a tornado warning until 11:30. That's why we're going wall to wall with you with the weather coverage. You know, our concern for the last couple of days, severe weather, and it's already verifying here in the late morning hours. All right, it's our friend Gwen.
Yes.
Tolbert joined us. Gwen, checking in this morning. Thanks for joining us. Tell us what you're seeing.
Well, you know, you have made a very good point, Tucker, just about the fact that the intensity of this, and people have to really take it seriously. I know you and Taylor have been covering this all morning. And the thing to remember is, if you know that there is a tornado warning in your area, as Tucker said, you make sure that you take cover. Go to the lowest level of your home or the building that you are in. Don't be anywhere near trees, of course, outside, because these winds are going to be pretty powerful to be able to bring trees and power lines down. And just make sure that you stay away from windows as well. So you want to go to an interior room if your area is under a tornado warning. As we take a look at the intensity of this, you can see as this line comes through, you know, brighter the color, the heavier the rainfall, the more intense the storms are within it. And this is continuing to make its way right through to the east. Now, we know the winds are something that really feeds into this. It really gives it the energy. And the winds aloft, as well as the winds that are coming in from the south, are kind of overlapping each other. And so that is just really giving a really good kick to these storms as they continue to move their way across. And I was just on a Zoom call, a Google call, I should say, with the National Weather Service. They did one for all the stations. And one of the things that they said is to remind people, this is an all-day event from this morning until this front moves through into the evening. And if you look at the intensity of what's happening now, it's ahead of the front that's coming through. So you can see we still have some warnings in effect. Severe thunderstorm warning, tornado watch for most of the entire area. The warning is in effect until 11:45, so we still have some time for that. And then could you just punch up that tornado warning? That tornado box has actually dropped already, so we're kind of out of the clear there. But these tornado warnings could pop up at any time in any given location before the day is over. So keep that in mind. So once again, these are pretty intense. Taylor was just referring to you, telling you about how that bow is, and it has a lot to do with the winds as well. And as I said, we've got winds coming in from the southwest. We've got a warm front. We've got a frontal system coming in out from the west, and then we've got the winds that are aloft. And the more that those winds are able to get more energy when they line up in a vertical nature, that's when they are subject to get into some rotation. And that's when we'd be talking about possibility of a tornado developing. So that's what you have to pay attention to. And this is widespread, as Tucker said, all the way down to the south. We're seeing where these tornado watch boxes are currently in effect. You can see the stream of that coming up. We're in a very warm, humid atmosphere ahead of this front. I always kind of explain to people sometimes when we have severe storms and we have this kind of scenario that you've got this warm, humid air in place, and then this strong cold front comes through. And when you put the cold and the warm together, it's like cymbals clashing, and then it all kind of breaks loose. And that's what we're seeing now, because ahead of that frontal system, this warm, humid air is already in place. We know that our highs today are going to be into the 70s, and that atmosphere is just going to continue to intensify. The longer it takes for that front to come through, the longer period of time we have for the atmosphere to stay very precipitation heavy, for the atmosphere to stay moisture laden, for it to continue to warm up and become more humid and become more conducive to storms, because instability then builds in. So take a look. We are still under this moderate risk of severe weather. Haven't had this since like 2023, so this is really quite exceptional. And as I've been saying, damaging winds, yes, those winds in excess of 75, 80 80 miles an hour, you can be sure we are talking down trees and down power lines. And if you see anything like that, stay away. You don't know how long those down wires are going to be live. You don't want to have your car near anything. Don't park anywhere on the street if you can near any of those. And then we've got the damaging winds, and we might see a bit of hail in this. I don't think hail is the main threat as much as the winds are, of course. So the more that we continue to heat up in the atmosphere, the more those winds continue to push up, the more that moisture continues to stay in place ahead of that front, that just continues to build the instability in the atmosphere. And it's the instability that becomes what I call the fuel for the fire, because it's like putting gas on a fire. That's what the thunderstorms need, and that's exactly what we will see that will be happening. Tucker? Is Tucker there yet?
Okay, thank you so much, Gwen. Great job. And you can see there with the camera there that Loudoun County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. Just getting the latest from the Weather Service, they have no reports of damage from a tornado or tornadic activity yet, but they do have already they're receiving wind damage reports from, can we go back to the radar, from the strong thunderstorm activity that's started to take shape across the area here. Let's go back to the radar if we could, and I just want to show you. That's a live look. You can see that camera shaking violently because we have a severe thunderstorm now approaching Dulles. And yes, there's a very strong line of storms that have been coming through. And earlier, if you're just joining us, we had not one but two tornado warnings along here. The tornado warnings have expired, but we do have what we call a nice bow echo right there. And that suggests that there's some extremely strong winds associated, wind gusts associated with it. And as mentioned here, the Weather Service trying to start to assess some of the damage with this storm. But all of that area is shaded in yellow, including eastern portions of Loudoun County, Montgomery County, Frederick County, and then to the south there, I want to include Fairfax and working down towards Spotsylvania, perhaps Orange County there to the south, all under a severe thunderstorm warning for a few more minutes as this storm continues to rip off to the north and east at about 60 miles per hour. It has really been impressive how quickly it has blossomed. And I want to emphasize how important it is that you just keep your focus on continued weather here for the afternoon hours. This is round one of what potentially could be 3 rounds of severe weather today. And as it continues to race off here to the north and east, we might get a bit of a break, and then we'll see another round fire up mid-afternoon and perhaps a final line of storms with the actual cold front later today. We're just going to have to watch it all together. But, you know, we came on the air with a tornado warning at 10:45, and 10 minutes later, we had a line of thunderstorms that extended basically from the Pennsylvania border to south central Virginia. It blew up that fast. So things could really deteriorate in a hurry here as the atmosphere has a lot of buoyancy, it has a lot of lift, it has a propensity to want to have winds at a different direction with height. So that would be what I'm trying to share with you is a chance for tornadic activity. Look, Taylor, look at the camera there. You can literally see our system approaching. I don't know if we're on 66 there, what we're looking at.
Leesburg, yeah.
Yeah, that's out north of Leesburg. You can literally see that storm crossing 66 and approaching as we speak. It's pretty impressive. And things will deteriorate in a hurry. Watch the rain start to pick up.
You can see how fast it's moving.
It's just fascinating stuff. Yeah, you can literally see it working its way across. And the sudden downpour and likely, I can't show you on a camera, unless I can see the flags or see the trees bending, likely severe weather that's associated with it. See a bird taking off and trying to get out of there as fast as he can. And again, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about, just sudden severe weather where things are okay, and then 15 minutes later, you're in the worst of it with, you know, winds gusting 50, 60. You know, in many cases, we talk about severe thunderstorms with 50 or 60 mile per hour winds. Today, we're talking potentially 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. And you can see for yourself how quickly things deteriorated there in Loudoun County. And I think that's my camera that was trying to look at Dulles. Am I correct?
I think, yeah.
Oh, that's Loudoun Station. Yeah, that's out near Dulles. And as mentioned here, severe thunderstorm has verified out there, and that is unfortunately what you get. About a half hour ago out in Bear Chase, we had severe thunderstorm just to the east, and guess what? We couldn't see the lawn chairs out in that front lawn, so that is already an improving situation. Again, the best news with all of these storms, we'll get breaks, and you know, there may be some time pulsing between the storms as we continue to see, that's Leesburg, just, some pretty incredible rain rates and some very heavy downpours set to continue throughout the afternoon. Please, if, you're out on a roadway and you encounter ponding, don't try to drive through it. Your car can suddenly have a lot of issues because the rain's falling so fast, it doesn't get a chance to kind of drain off with rain rates, 1 to 2 inches an hour, and you'll get, very heavy rain here in 15 or 20 minutes. We had 2 tornado warnings. We have no tornado warnings at the moment. That's great. We do have continued severe thunderstorm warnings. That's that area shaded in yellow. And this is areas west of D.C., but just west now of D.C., includes parts of Fairfax County and Fauquier County there in Virginia, and now extending up through Loudoun County in Virginia into western Howard, excuse me, that's not Howard County, I guess extreme western Howard County perhaps, but more importantly, Montgomery County, Frederick County, all under that severe thunderstorm warning for another 15 minutes or so. This is round 1. This is not the cold front. We have to do another round midday and perhaps a third round tonight. All of the different periods of weather have an opportunity, if I want to use those words, maybe I don't want you to say opportunity, or the possibility of giving us severe weather. And we won't be in the clear until later this evening, probably around 8, 9 o'clock tonight, as the last of the energy can get through here. And then we'll start to see some chilly winds, and we'll get very cold later tonight. Can you believe we'll be 70 this afternoon and around freezing by tomorrow morning? It's another one of those. We might even end this with a little period of snow. Okay, that's Frederick County. The storm is approaching. So if you're in Frederick, or Frederick County, now's your time to get ready for the storm. Make sure your phone's charged up and ready in case you lose power. And, get yourself to a safe place here as these storms come through. They'll be quick moving, which is great. But they do have, and they have a history now of producing wind damage. We don't have any reports of tornadic damage, but we do have reports of wind damage that are streaming in. Taylor?
Yeah, exactly. So we are getting reports of on the ground wind damage coming in. Nothing in terms of tornado damage as it looks currently, but you can see the blinding rainfall right there from the Loudoun County station. We also have the wind. That's going to be an ongoing threat as these storms kind of materialize throughout the day. We've been getting a lot of questions about, when is the worst supposed to hit? Well, it's not just one period of time. It's going to be a large window of time where we'll see several rounds of this activity come through. So we'll see a round come through like we're seeing right now, get a little bit of a break, and then we'll see a second round and possibly a third round later on this evening. So we're certainly not in the clear after this moves through, but we're going to be under this risk really ongoing through about 9 p.m. this evening. That tornado watch is ongoing through 7 p.m.
Any wind damage reports yet? Anything coming out of the area to our west?
We are getting reports that there's some damage reports. I need to pull up the map right now to see exactly what will be coming in. I don't know exactly what it is so far, but as soon as I know the information, I'll get it out. Okay, great.
And just a reminder, and I've said this once or twice, we've had 2 tornado warnings and a lot of wind damage reports already. If you have downed trees, power lines that are wrapped up in your trees and, they're in your yard, that kind of thing, don't go out and, try to take care of it yourself. You want to make sure that power is turned off. It creates very dangerous situations when we get these big wind gusts and the power lines get blown around and they get blown into your yard and that kind of thing. They could all be live. And you just want to play it safe. In addition, we've had 2 tornado warnings, and I know what you're thinking. Not in my house. It's been just cloudy. The reason that we're giving everybody a heads up here is this kind of situation where things go downhill in a hurry could happen at any point this afternoon, as the risk for tornadic activity, severe thunderstorms, wind gusts over 60 miles per hour will continue for several more hours. In fact, it'll probably be sometime this evening, 8, 9 o'clock tonight, before we'll get the final round through here and we can quiet down the atmosphere a little bit. You probably saw, we talked about it last week, and you saw on your social media this weekend, the threat of this storm is very real, and we're already seeing it verifying here. Yeah, you can see the intensity of that storm. I think we're in Loudoun County there. You can see the intensity of the downpour across the region here, and that can cause ponding on the roadways as we have severe thunderstorms rolling just to the west of D.C. Okay, for more, we're going to toss it back to Gwen.
Tucker, I'm really glad that they're showing that visuals of what it looks like outside so people can really understand the importance of all this and just how, that rain can be such a factor being on the roads out there. If you don't have to be out today on the roads, don't be out there. As Tucker and Taylor have been telling you, we've got 2 rounds of all this. This is just round 1 that's coming through, and then we're going to have round 2 as we get into the afternoon hours into this evening before it's all said and done. But copious amounts of rainfall coming down, and those winds are going to be absolutely threatening for everywhere that they do blow their way, that come through there because of the down trees and down power line potential. So as you take a look back here at satellite radar composite, you can see, thank goodness we don't have any more tornado warnings across the area, but this is still continuing to move its way through. You know, the jet stream is pretty much down to the south. We're seeing that flow of those winds coming in from the southwest, as I said earlier, and then in the upper atmosphere, the upper winds that are coming down. So as they kind of overlap and we kind of get that vertical column going on with these storms, that's where the potential is for rotation to start and a tornado to start to kick in. This is a pretty strong line of storms right here. You can see by the bright colors just how intense it is, and the brighter the color, the heavier the rainfall and the more intense the storm action, which is why as that moves its way to the east, we're seeing it come right into where that entire area that is under the tornado watch, as well as the severe thunderstorms that are coming through. So take these very seriously. Tucker?
A new tornado warning, and you can see, let's zoom in on it. This just issued for Montgomery County. It includes Poolesville there. It looks like it's just across the Potomac and racing off to the north and east. Taylor, maybe you can give me the info on how long this will be in effect, but this is our third tornado warning now. We're in Maryland at this point. We're looking at Montgomery County. Maybe you can open that up a little bit. You can see the intensity of the storms. Yeah, but brand new tornado warning. It looks like it is for central portions of Montgomery County there, just to the west of 270. You have a little more info?
Yeah, so it's for west central Montgomery County into and also eastern Loudoun County right now. It's ongoing currently until 11:45. Again, radar indicated, of course, right over Poolesville, and it's moving northeast at around 45 miles per hour. So same speed that everything else has been moving. Yeah,
and let's just show the big picture there. There's a line of showers and thunderstorms that we've been monitoring for the past hour that has just really exploded across the eye. Look at Loudoun Station here. That just gives you, let's go back to that camera because that's on the tail end of what could potentially be a tornadic storm. And it is just racing across the Potomac here. This line has a history of, we don't have any reports of confirmed tornadoes, although this is our third tornado warning. We do have confirmed reports. We're trying to get some of those damage reports in as fast as we can of damaging winds for parts of northern Virginia. That is a live look, and it really does a nice job showing you the intensity of the storms and the rain rates, and this is out towards Dulles. Just a reminder here that I'm afraid travel delay or air travel is going to be delayed throughout the day. It's not just D.C. The threat here extends up to our north and east of the big cities and then to the south. Atlanta under a tornado watch for much of the morning. They've had severe thunderstorms work through the Carolinas. So just, if you're trying to travel and it involves the air, make sure that your flight's on time. If you're trying to travel and it involves your car, make sure you're taking the severe storms seriously because the rain rates are such that they're causing ponding on the roadways. You have something to add there, Taylor? Oh, okay.
Sorry, I have like a bunch of people talking to me. Okay. So again, just to recap, we had this tornado warning ongoing through 11:45 this morning. So again, it's for west central Montgomery County, also eastern Loudoun County right now. It's moving to the northeast. Again, so if you are located in areas like Germantown, Poolesville, or even Boyds, Maryland, you're going to be in the direct line of this storm here shortly.
Yeah, and I want to mention Frederick. Maybe show us a different graphic because that one's not showing the actual warning on it. Thank you. Frederick now, that storm is very rapidly approaching. We mentioned Frederick would be dealing with severe weather shortly. You are not in Frederick under a tornado warning. It's just to your south. You are under severe thunderstorm warning for another half hour or so as the storm, and this has been the first in a series of storms, starts to pass through. In the past hour, we've had 2 tornado warnings for parts of Loudoun County and then back towards Fauquier County and Culpeper. And now we're watching the same storm system, which has a history of producing damaging winds, approach and cross the Potomac there into Montgomery County and getting into Maryland. And that area you see shaded in red, it includes Poolesville, and then just to the west of 270, to the south and west of 270, you are under tornado warning. What does a tornado warning mean? It does not mean a confirmed tornado, but it does mean you got to take it seriously as if it is a tornado. please get to the lowest floor of your residence. There's a lot of lightning there in Frederick. If you have a basement, just wait it out in the basement. The winds, with or without a tornado, may approach 50 to 60 miles per hour. And, the good news is the storms are racing so quickly off to the north and east at 45 to 60 miles an hour. The threat should pass quickly, although we'll have several rounds of this today. But this is not a situation that the reason we've been talking about this storm system and the potential for it for the past couple of days is because the atmosphere is very, very conducive and very unstable. Looks like we have some ponding there on some of the roadway there just to the left. You can see it in that parking lot. So, again, the rain will come down fast and furious. The winds for a time, especially on the front line of this, on the front edge of this, could approach 60 to 70 miles per hour. There you go, Loudon Station now. We can see the metro stop there. We couldn't see that 5 minutes ago, so that's already an improvement. But it's racing off to the north and east. Could we show a big picture? I just want to show that these are not the only storms we're dealing with. Perhaps you can zoom in just a little bit so I can show our area. And we've had storms start firing up. See that line of showers crossing the bay? That has a history of producing some pretty good downpours up towards Annapolis. It looks like we have another round, not a warned storm, but another round approaching southern Maryland, including St. Mary's County. And we are under now, and this is new in the past half hour, tornado watch for the entire region until 7 p.m. So you really want to be, weather aware later today. If you haven't downloaded the Fox local app, it has a great radar on it. And if you're a person that has to work outside, if you're working out to the west here and you're outside working in a field or something, or you have a relative that is, just make sure that they're paying close attention, because what we've watched this morning is the weather just kind of fall apart and go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. These storms are just blossoming and firing up in just a couple minutes' time. The atmosphere, it just really wants to allow severe storms to develop, along with gusty winds and, again, additional tornadic activity. Why are we going wall to wall? We have another tornado warning, our third of the morning. This one from Montgomery County, in effect until 11:45. Did I get that right, Taylor?
Exactly. So they're continuing that warning right now. Direct path right now is Clarksburg and Germantown. So if you have any cameras in that area, we are getting some good visuals coming in terms of pictures. So, that would be great. Not exactly with a tornado on the ground or anything like that, but it's at least showing that storm rolling into that area. So they're still seeing some kind of rotation with this and a good burst of wind. So outside of the rotation, we're going to be dealing with some high wind with this because it's more or less the storm. If I can zoom it in here, it's bowing out a little bit. And I'm trying to see if we can see there's a little bit of a kink in the bow out, too. So that's why. Oh yeah.
You really see it there.
There you go. That's why it was warned.
And Weather Service concerned about rotation here, yeah?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah, so that's now getting north and east of Poolesville, very rapidly approaching Clarksburg. I can tell you from that radar signature, they will likely extend that tornado warning out to include additional portions of northern Montgomery County. Perhaps that'll get into western Howard County over the next few minutes, and we'll likely see the yellow box you see. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. So even if you're not in the tornado warning and you're off to the north and you're up in Montgomery County, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning for another 15 minutes to a half hour, depending where you're watching from. Can we open it up just a little bit? I want to show you the big picture, because I know a lot of you are watching this and you're going, okay, nothing at my house, I just got clouds. We're watching more storms fire up all over the place. Look down towards Richmond. Those storms are starting to blossom as well. Those of you in southern Maryland, a little closer to D.C., we're going to have to watch the progress of those very carefully. I can see additional storms just to the east of Roanoke. All those red boxes you see are tornado watches. That looks like the tornado watches have now been extended up into Pennsylvania, and they extend to our south and west, down towards Roanoke, down into the Carolinas. And unfortunately here, this is just one of those spring, I know it's not officially spring, but one of those spring-like days where we have to deal with severe weather pretty much from start to finish. That's just a wonderful live shot there. Thank you for grabbing that. That's in Frederick, and as we mentioned to you 15 minutes ago, take shelter there, as you do not have a tornado warning in Frederick, but you do have a severe thunderstorm warning, and you can see that verifying there in your live cam, as winds along this line have in many cases been in excess of 60 miles per hour. It looks like we're out along 270, which I'll have to zoom in, but I think maybe just west or just east of the worst of this weather. So shortly we'll see some of the storm activity cross along 270. And, just a reminder here, our trees are very vulnerable to straight line winds, to any kind of curvature, any kind of tornadic activity. They're just not built to withstand it. So, down trees are going to be a real threat here. You can see for yourself in Frederick, that is not a pretty sight. And we'll continue to be dealing with pockets of severe weather throughout the day, and it will continue to, at times, be very intense, as it is right now for portions of Montgomery County and Frederick County there off to the north and to the west. Shower activity to the east there. Looks like it's mostly fading across the bay. So our focal point here continues to be in Montgomery County. All right, for the latest on what's going on with that tornado warning, I will toss it back over to Taylor.
All right, thank you. So it looks like this is still ongoing. We're waiting to get reports that they're going to extend it, just because they are starting to see at least some rotation with it, or at least continuing it. And what we're really watching here closely is, if I need to zoom out the radar a little bit more, just to give you a better visual of the bowing out that we're seeing with this line, which is having trouble with my radar right now. But as you can see, it's kind of bowing out a little bit, and as it does, we have like a little bit of a kink in it too. So that's why we're watching for any kind of rotation. Of course, if you have any kind of reports at home that you can safely report to us, that would be great. Again, direct line of this storm is areas like Germantown, and also up towards Poolsville is where it just moved through, but we are looking at another system moving through Frederick, where we just had the live camera right there. That was producing some blinding heavy rainfall. Also, looks like we have a live look. Oh, there we go. There's a Frederick camera. That's at at least the heavy downpour moving through there, and high winds too. So they're under, Frederick, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning ongoing for the next couple of minutes. And it looks like they are extending this tornado warning right now. I can see it right on our map. It just updated. It looks like areas like Damascus are under this, Germantown all the way through Damascus. So the areas in that red shade right there. I haven't got an official word of how long this is going to go for quite yet, but as you can tell, it's still ongoing right now, because they do, at least the National Weather Service is seeing sometimes some areas of rotation. I'm not surprised with that, with this bow, and a little bit of the signature coming in with the bow too.
Yeah, and they mentioned that about 500 feet, they're getting some pretty good circulation with that system. So that tornado warning just extended across 270 now, northern part of Montgomery County, and it includes, you can see Damascus there in that red cone. And that tornado warning, we'll try to let you know how long that's in effect. But you can see for yourself, storm now approaching and passing 270. Maybe we can get a camera up there and we can show you what's happening. Yeah, you can actually see it approaching. You can see it approaching 270 up there. See the rain off in the distance, and that's the severe thunderstorm and possible tornadic activity that's going to be approaching and passing 270 as we speak. You can literally see it coming through on the camera. Been wonderful. Just look at that. That's just incredible stuff. Yeah. Watching that severe weather passing by as we speak here. Amazing in 2026 stuff we can capture live. But you can see for yourself that weather working across 270 and towards Damascus, where we now have an extended tornado warning. And the next step would be up towards northwestern portions of Howard County, and then into northern Maryland if we were to continue to monitor this tornado warning. I expect the southern and western part of that tornado warning will be dropped shortly for areas that are off to the south and west of 270. It looks like the worst of it is past your region. Let's show big picture if we can again. And I just want to mention waves of showers, thunderstorms, and at any point, situation at your house could go from 0 to 100 pretty quickly. The atmosphere is just so unstable and so energized, with a lot of upper level energy coming in from the west and a lot of cold air. Real clash of the seasons here. You got springtime warmth and 70 in D.C. and heavy snow in Chicago and temps in the 20s and low 30s. And this time of year, we often see this severe weather. Well, today, forecast to be an outbreak of severe weather across our region, and we'll continue to monitor those trends. But had very serious weather out to our west. We've had widespread reports of wind damage. We'll wait to confirm that out to the west. And we've had, looks like this is our 4th tornado warning of the morning, with several rounds to go here. So again, we could do some more and additional tornado warnings later this afternoon for the region here. This tornado warning now, earlier it was in Virginia, we're now in Montgomery County. It extends roughly from the Potomac into northeastern portions of Montgomery County. Includes at the moment Germantown and Damascus. And if you're in this part of Montgomery County, please take the storm seriously. It's passing so quickly that the danger will be over fairly fast. But that's an amazing live shot of just how intense the storm is as it's coming through. I know we're in Montgomery County. I'm not sure what camera that is, but that's right along 270. You can see visibilities are almost zero there with the heavy rain and quickly unfortunately here, when you get the rain rates that we get with these kind of storms, that water just doesn't have anywhere to go and it ponds very quickly. It can create very dangerous situations in a moment's notice out on the roadways, and that's what we're seeing verified there in Montgomery County with additional heavy rain. I'm not sure we have a tornado threat any longer in southwestern portions of Montgomery County, but we are still experiencing some heavy rain off to the south and west. Do we have Stephanie? Live shot? Oh, that's 270. Okay. All right. Taylor, I'm going to toss it back to you. You can give us the latest here. But, I mean, visually, it's just all about what you can see there in that camera. And we have mentioned and we've been expecting severe weather, and we're already seeing it verified here early this morning. Taylor?
Right. So the tornado warning is still ongoing through noon today. We are getting signs of rotation, and it looks like they're going to keep this warning ongoing. Outside of that, we also have the severe thunderstorm warnings, which are kind of engulfing this one specific tornado warning we have ongoing. We're looking at peak wind gusts right now with this specific storm moving through at least Germantown. Peak wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. And this storm is moving so fast. It's moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So if you're in the line of the storm, again, seek shelter right now, because even if you're not in the tornado warned area, it's still a really bad line of storms coming through right now. And we're in addition to the straight line winds we'll be dealing with, we also are going to see some tornado warnings embedded in this as well. So we're in constant communication with the National Weather Service. Right now, this is just the initial round moving through currently. It's going to move through the entire area within the next hour or two, and then we're going to get a lull, at least a break in the storm activity for at least an hour or two, and then we'll see the second round start to move through, and then it looks like there's going to be an additional round later on this evening, too. So just to recap, we're under a tornado warning for areas of Montgomery County currently. If you're located in Damascus, it extends anywhere from Germantown, up through Damascus. It's ongoing through about noon today.
Yeah, and it looks to me like they just trimmed the tornado warning. So if you're in central and southwestern portions out towards Poolesville, where you were earlier under a tornado warning, you have now cleared that, which is great news as the storm continues. And Tilly just mentioned it off to the north and east. Can we show a big picture? I just want to show the Mid-Atlantic and just show the DMV here if we could. We are under the red box you see that surrounds our area. It really now extends up into central Pennsylvania, all the way down to the Carolinas. We're now under a tornado watch until 7 p.m. And if you're under tornado watch, that means that the ingredients are all there for additional rounds of severe weather today. I know many of us are watching right now and we're thinking to ourselves, hey, I haven't seen much anything. You could watch your weather deteriorate in a hurry as we're expecting sort of round after round of showers, potentially thunderstorms, and some of the cells within the thunderstorms embedded could have some very dangerous conditions. It looks like we have a brand new tornado warning.
Yes.
Here, I can sort of riff on that one a little bit, but that looks like it's a brand new one.
Yep.
Sort of the northern edge of our viewing area, just to the east there of Frederick, parts of Frederick County, getting up into, it looks like Carroll County there. Yep. In northern Maryland. That in effect as well until 12 noon. And again, we've had, I don't know if this is the 5th or 6th tornado warning. We don't have any reports or confirmed reports of tornadoes on the ground, but we do have a history now of wind damage with these storms and very heavy rain. This is what we are expecting, and unfortunately here, we're already getting the weather event going in the 10 and 11 o'clock hour with additional rounds expected later this afternoon. Do you have more information on that tornado warning?
Yeah, so they literally just issued it. It's working along I-70 into Carroll County right now. So right now it's really more or less over Frederick. Yeah, so it's moving to the north and east very rapidly. They're also saying that the wind associated with this outside of the tornado warned area, we're looking at gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour, which is, pretty dangerous. So again, even if you're not in the warned storm currently, if you're anywhere within this area that's getting any of this activity, just make sure you get inside safely. So that's the latest that I'm getting right now. So this new warned storm is ongoing through about noon today.
Yeah, we just really want to emphasize here, a tornado warning is not a confirmed tornado on the ground unless somebody actually sees it. So these are all radar indicated tornadoes. That means that our radars are so sensitive these days they can see that circulation even if it doesn't reach the ground. But either way, you got to take it seriously because a tornado warning could mean there is a tornado in that cone, and you want to get yourself to the lowest place you can in your residence or your place of business, and just make sure you're not away from things that can fly and hit you if you're outside. As wind gusts to 70 miles per hour. Listen, even if you don't get a tornado, you get a wind gust to 70 miles per hour. That is very dangerous as that storm approaches. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, the trees in our region, although very beautiful, they are in many cases very delicate. And they do not love winds gusting to 70 miles per hour. Many of them will be subject to, falling limbs, in some cases falling trees that could fall across roadways. If you don't need to be out and you're in this area that's warned, tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings, you just wait it out. And there'll be some hours later this afternoon where we're not getting severe weather. But today will be the worst of it. It really quiets down after today. We'll be chilly tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day, but we're not talking about severe weather all week. This is really going to be the worst of it. So if you can just kind of, play it out, that would be great. Okay, I just want to mention this line of showers and storms is now extended all the way from northern Maryland down to the south and to the west. All the way down, just went through Roanoke, approaching Charlottesville, and that line will continue to press towards our region. And I'll be honest with you, at any point right along that line of showers and storms, we could see severe thunderstorms fire up or more tornadic activity. And again, we've now, we're about an hour into this, had 6 separate tornado warnings as the atmosphere. So what happens here is we're getting a lot of change in wind direction with height. And so, when the winds are sort of perpendicular to each other, that really likes to cause these spin-ups with brief tornadic activity. And we've seen no reports of tornadic activity on the ground, but we've had at least radar indicated several times this morning in Virginia, crossing the Potomac into Montgomery County, now up into Frederick County, of possible tornadic activity. D.C. itself, inside the Beltway, not much yet, but that doesn't mean that we're in the clear, as we are likely to see showers and storms pass through at some point today. The line of showers and storms off to the east that includes out along the Bay, Calvert County, St. Mary's County, there up towards Annapolis earlier. Your storms have not been warned yet, but you've seen some good downpours. And I'm watching more storm activity bubble up just to the south of Richmond, and additional thunderstorms firing up to the east of Roanoke. And all of that will generally be rolling off. You can see it for yourself to the north and east at about 40 to 50. In some cases, we've had a storm at 60 miles per hour. So they're just going to continue to kind of race through the area, in some cases, explode in intensity. And then we'll get a breather, and then we'll get another round of it. But we have 2 tornado warnings to our north, including north and east of 270 there in Montgomery County. That includes Damascus, under a tornado warning till 12 noon, and in Frederick, including parts of Carroll County there just to the south and west of Westminster. You can see that cone for yourself. We don't have any reports of tornadic activity reaching the ground, but we have had the Weather Service indicate that they've seen pretty good circulation just a few hundred feet above the ground. And we have seen, with the aid of live cameras, some very intense cells come through, including some very heavy rain and some very gusty winds. We've done a great job kind of tracking these storms as they've pushed off across our area. That's Frederick, and just a few minutes ago you couldn't barely see the houses at the bottom of the screen there, but things are already improving. So the good news is, although the storms come in fast and furious, you'll get a break, and then you got to wait for another impulse later today. All of this associated with a cold front that will come in later tonight. We all remember the craziness from last week when we went from 85 to snow. Same kind of energy at play, a little bit different today with the increased risk for severe weather. But we'll go from about 70 this afternoon to high temperatures that kind of struggle to 40 tomorrow. Taylor?
All right, yeah, so just an update on everything going on. It looks like they're going to, the National Weather Service is going to drop the warning for Damascus right now, or at least here shortly, because it's losing some rotation features. But the northern one up towards Frederick, that's the one we're watching really closely. It looks like it's showing signs of becoming a supercell, which is never a good thing to see. So we're keeping a really close eye on this as it moves rapidly to the north and east. So I'm not surprised if this tornado warning does get extended past noon today. But that's the latest right now.
Okay, let me just show you quickly if you're trying to hit the roads later today. This is not just the Washington area. We're going to be talking about storm system that's impacting the mid-Atlantic, and honestly, it's going to be impacting a great deal of our region. And since we joined you, this red box you see right here is our tornado watch box, and embedded there we've got 2 tornado warnings. Taylor just mentioned one of them is going to be dropped, and a second tornado warning watch box that's up into central Pennsylvania, and this extends all the way down to Florida, as it is unfortunately here going to be a day that features, as Taylor just said, supercell activity up ahead of our cold front, and eventually a cold front that's going to slide through the region that could bring us some additional straight line winds. So at any point here in the next couple hours, storms could fire up, intense storms could fire up in a moment's notice, and you could go from just kind of generally overcast conditions to severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning literally in mere minutes. So just make sure that you're very cautious about being out later today. If you're working outside, check in on your radar, especially your Fox Local radar does a great job. Keep abreast of any warnings that may hit your area, as we are just, unfortunately here in the first couple innings of what will be a long duration event here. This is going to kind of go through in waves for the day, as we are expecting round after round of showers and thunderstorms to impact our region later today. That's a live look at, I guess we're on 70 there. I'm going to guess out in Frederick County, and you can see the worst has passed through, but just a few minutes ago they had severe weather out there. Okay, so we've got 2 tornado warnings in effect for a few more minutes. The primary one that we're concerned about, because we're about to lose the one in Montgomery County, is just to the east of Frederick. And as Taylor mentioned a few moments ago, that cell is extremely intense. We've had reports of winds. Never mind a threat of a tornado. The winds have been reported to be 70 miles an hour along that front line. And you can see the intensity, the darker reds and yellows, just some very impressive rain rates that will cause, rain that you do not want to be out on the roads in for a short period of time here. The good news is they're moving so quickly you'll get a break, and we're already seeing that. We do have some additional heavy rain, looks like back into portions of Montgomery County here in Loudoun County as well. And, one of the concerns, I guess, that we're going to have is if we get round after round of rain and thunderstorm activity across the area, and lots of storm activity over the same area. This is what we call training. We could have some flash flood issues. So we're going to have to watch for that possibility as well, the potential for flash flooding later today, because unfortunately here when the rain comes down so quickly, it just doesn't get a chance to drain efficiently. And, pretty quickly here, we could start to be looking at some localized flooding. So that will be another concern as we get forward into the afternoon. All right, I see you studying your maps over there, Taylor. Anything new?
Nothing as of waiting for. Oops, oh, no, they did not. Watching for an area near Unionville, Maryland, for areas of some rotation as well. But as it looks currently, it's still the ongoing same tornado warning. It looks like the one near Damascus is still, it's going to expire here at noon. That won't be extended, but I'm not going to be surprised if this other one, the northern one, that's just northeast of Frederick, heading into Carroll County, that one will likely be extended here shortly. So, again, this is all associated with this extensive line that we're going to be watching. And I just to point out, like Tucker's been saying, you can see right here as we zoom it out here, this is kind of a broken line of storms that has unfolded, and this is just round 1. So we're going to see several rounds move through today. It won't be stormy all day long. You'll get breaks, but there will be additional rounds that will move through, and this is more or less what we're anticipating for the other rounds that will move through. So I think after this first batch, we'll get maybe an hour or 2 break, and then we'll see the second batch move through. But it's going to be the same kind of thing where we're dealing with the high winds, the high straight line winds, especially for the areas that kind of bow out, which is actually happening where we're zooming in here as we approach the I-95 corridor. So that's what we're going to be watching as it does bow out. We could see peak wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour. And embedded in all of this, we'll also have the threat for some rotation and, of course, some tornado warnings. So, again, just to recap, this is what we're dealing with right now. We have 2 tornado warnings that are ongoing currently. The one towards our south near Damascus, that's due to expire here shortly. We still have this other one that's entering Carroll County and that's ongoing through noon today. I'm not going to be surprised if they do extend that as well. Waiting to officially hear on that. Still focusing on this same storm because it is showing signs of a supercell activity. So yeah, very dangerous storm. Regardless, if you're in the tornado warned area, anywhere around this area, especially anywhere in Carroll County right now, I would seek shelter just because we'll be dealing with the outside of the tornado threat. We have the straight line wind threat of upwards of 70 mile per hour.
Yeah,
wind
I just saw out of BWI they thought that they might have, and this is not confirmed yet, a wind gust over 70 to about 75. So obviously 75 mile per hour wind is a Category 1 hurricane wind. That's a very serious wind. Let me just show you, can you just extend that down a little bit to the south there, Taylor? Let me show the rain, and we're seeing additional showers and storms fire up right along this line. And maybe you can zoom down right into just the west of D.C. Because there we go. That's the first time we've seen strong storms approach the Beltway, and we'll continue to monitor this. Nothing warned here at the moment, but it is now along 66 there into Fairfax and very quickly approaching the Beltway. So travel's going to be tough here near term on the western side of the Beltway as that approaches. Maybe you can extend that a little further down to the south. The other concern I'm starting to see already is, see that area out towards Culpeper? That looks like to me in Culpeper there, your second or third round of some very heavy rain. So I can tell you, I'm thinking for the Weather Service already, that if we continue to see what we call training, the same areas being impacted by storms, we're going to start to have some flooding issues very quickly as this rain is coming down so fast and so furious. You know, look at the water coming off of the cars there at Reston Station as they head, looks like, out to the west there. That gives you a sense of how much water is out there on the roadways. And we are expecting, unfortunately here, for continued severe weather activity for the next several hours. Unfortunately, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, if you consider this a 9-inning baseball game, what do you think? We're in inning 2 here, Taylor?
Yeah, I would agree with you. We still have a long way to go, but we're also going to get some breaks out there. But more or less, look, they're going everywhere with the tornado warnings right now. So we just had one issued for that same storm, but it has moved a little bit further north of Damascus right now. So I'm waiting for the official word to come in and what's happening with that storm currently. And then we have one, the one we've been watching up north towards Carroll County. That one is really kind of a bad storm right there, producing wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour. In addition to that, we had the tornado warning too. So we are getting some reports coming in now. Looks like from Clarksburg, we have reports of some downed wires in that area. And the latest update on, we have that. Just in addition to that, we also have the additional tornado warning that is out for Carroll County, including Uniontown, Maryland. Also a new warning for mountain area right along I-70, hugging Pars Ridge towards Sykesville. So these warnings, every time they go out, they're issuing them for about 15 minutes or so. Yeah,
and just a reminder, listen, I know a lot of people work outside this time of year. As, we get into the spring months. If you got a spouse or somebody working outside and they're not, sitting here watching TV, just make sure they're aware of these storms as they're coming through, because they're very dangerous. What we're not showing you is all the cloud-to-ground lightning out there as well. And we've had widespread reports of a lot of lightning strikes. And, you just want to take shelter and make sure you are all set to go here. We've been telling you all morning long about the threat for these storms. Well, they're verifying here. Early this morning, about 10:45, we had our first tornado warning, and we're now into, I guess, number 6, 7, and 8 of tornado warnings at the moment. We had a camera. Can we go back to Loudoun County? I wanted to show, go back to Culpeper. And I just want to show, can you put the radar on Culpeper as well? There's nothing warned down there at the moment, but there is additional storm activity that's firing up just to the east of Culpeper. And we've already seen a couple storms go through here. And I want to emphasize that, with each round of storm activity, the chances go up for flash flooding. And I think the story going forward here, in addition to gusty winds and the threat of tornadic activity, which will continue for the afternoon hours, the flooding issue will become an issue. I know that we haven't had a lot of rain lately, but this would be the flash flooding variety where we get ponding on the roadways and that kind of thing. So you guys down in Culpeper and down to the south and west, this is your second round of some pretty intense storms. It looks like it's now pushing into, parts of Fairfax County and to the north and east. And I do want to mention this particular band of storms if it continues on that trajectory off to the north and east, that will impact us here. Yeah, there you can see it in the immediate Washington area. Here's where I'm focused, right here. And this area right here is racing off to the north and east. Here we are in D.C. So we are likely in the next hour or so, if these storms hold together, and I think they will, to encounter some very gusty winds and some pretty good downpours inside the Beltway. As this will get closer to home here. Prince George's County, you're going to want to watch this carefully. Fairfax County, D.C. itself, and in and around the Beltway as these storms are now approaching from the south and west. All right, that is 2 tornado warnings. They remain in effect. Since it's after 12 noon, I'm going to assume that the warnings have been extended because the little cones have not disappeared. But you can see for yourself that tornado warnings, in this case, are radar indicated. We don't have any confirmed tornadoes. We do have confirmed wind damage now in Montgomery County with these storms passing through. We had an indication from a radar out of BWI Marshall of a wind gusting over 70 miles an hour with some of these storms. So unfortunately here, sort of worst case scenario as far as the storms have been verified. That tornado warning to the south includes northern and western parts, maybe Sykesville there in Montgomery County, and then out towards Eldersburg in Carroll County, and then the northern and easternmost parts of Frederick County, and then into Carroll County in Westminster. They are in effect until 12:15 today, as we have several tornado warnings already, and we're just unfortunately getting this started. Let me share with you, just open it all up, Taylor, what we're expecting later today. Rounds of showers and storms, and I can see, and I just mentioned that storm system out in Culpeper that will be impacting the immediate Washington area shortly. This is not the cold front. This is sort of round 2 that will be approaching from the south and west down toward Charlottesville. In addition, we've got storms that are impacting southern Maryland and the eastern shore. And the actual cold front is still well out to our west. And so we're going to do several rounds of possible severe weather before we can wrap this system and call it quits. So, just make sure your phone has been fully plugged in and charged. It's certainly a possibility with reports of down power lines, power cables there in Montgomery County that we lose power in some spots, and down trees. Don't try to listen. The trees, unfortunately, although they're beautiful, they're also fragile in 70-mile-per-hour winds, and they fall across roadways. And we see tragic events all the time. Don't be, unfortunately, one of those people that encounter a tree falling in a roadway. If you can do anything at all to avoid it, just kind of wait these storms out. They are very dangerous. The Weather Service doesn't issue severe thunderstorm warnings and let you know that there's 70-mile-per-hour winds unless that's been verified. So just, really take it cautious and just, as much as you can today, stay in a safe place as these storms are going to continue to fire up throughout the afternoon. Okay, we've got Gwen back at the big board, and she's got some updates for us. Gwen, what's happening?
Yeah, I've been checking too, online. Haven't seen like Taylor or any of the reports that have come in as yet. But as Tucker says, you really have to realize this is a serious event and take it seriously. If you happen to see any downed wires or trees in your area, just stay away from them because you don't know if they're going to be live. And with the winds that are coming through with this system, there is a very, very high chance and a likelihood, I'm just going to say it'll happen, that there are going to be numerous trees and power lines downs in many areas because these winds are going to be very strong. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got those winds coming in from the south, southwest, and then in the upper atmosphere, we have winds coming in from the south, southeast. We've got this overlapping of these winds, and as we sort of get more of a vertical line going on with the storms, that's when rotation can definitely occur. So as this is coming through now, you see the brighter colors and the darker red and the yellow embedded in that. That's the intensity of the storms, and that's a good indication that that's a pretty good strong thunderstorm. And these are moving pretty much to the due east to northeast. So anyone that's in this line right through here, you're going to be next and starting to see some more of that intensity. And as Tucker mentioned, this is just round 1. Round 2 will come through a little bit later in the day. But this extends all the way down to the south as well. So it's not just us. And if you take a look at that visual there, I'm not sure where that is, but you can see just how that cloud deck is. That's Howard County, did you say, Sarah? Oh, that's our tower cam. Okay. So you can see just how dark that cloud deck is there, and that's pretty significant for what we have. So tornado warnings, we still have them in effect. I think they expire at 12:15. They've been extended right now, and that is, well, we're just moving it now, and this is where we have the severe thunderstorm warning. We also have a tornado watch that's in effect for most of the area as we continue to track these storms. But you really want to take it seriously if you know that you have a watch, or especially a warning for your area. Know the difference. A watch means that conditions are conducive to it becoming much more intense, and then a warning means it's already happening at that time, so take cover, especially if it's a tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect throughout parts of here, but I'm going to go back to Tucker now. There might be another one that popped up. Tucker?
Warning right there for you, Gwen. Great job. Eastern ports, Orange County, Spotsylvania County, now under a severe thunderstorm warning. I was showing you this area just a few moments ago. This area really needs to be watched because not only do we have a severe thunderstorm warning, but these storms have fired up and they are producing some very heavy rain over an area that just saw heavy rain about an hour ago. I also want to mention, can we just open it up a little bit more for me there, if you would, that all of these storms are racing off to the north and east, and on their current trajectory will be impacting the Washington area in the next hour or so. So, you know, we haven't seen a lot inside the Beltway, Prince George's County, parts of Charles County. You haven't done much yet today. This line right here will have to be watched as it's kind of lifting off to the north and east, and will continue to do, unfortunately, what we've seen earlier today, and that is produce winds gusting, in some cases, over 70 miles per hour, and continue to produce the threat of tornadoes. Off to the north, the reason we've been live with you since about 10:30 this morning, we are looking at tornadoes that have been issued, tornado warnings that have been issued to our north. No, that's a severe thunderstorm warning for Spotsylvania County. We do not have a tornado warning there for your banner to the south. Severe thunderstorm warning. Thank you. But we do have tornado warnings for portions of Carroll County and Frederick County until 12:15. So that will be the area we'll primarily focus on. We have had reports of wind damage, not tornado damage yet. But unfortunately, some winds have gusted over 70 miles per hour, and we have reports of down power lines and that kind of thing, down trees now into Montgomery County and Loudoun County. And I'm afraid with several rounds of severe weather expected across our region, going to experience much more of that later today, this afternoon, and then tonight, because we could do this sort of rounds of this over and over again over the next couple of hours. So again, we have 2 tornado warnings off to our north, include extreme parts of northern and eastern parts of Montgomery County, western portions of Howard County, and then up into northern Maryland there into Carroll County. And in addition, the brand new warning I want to share with you is the severe thunderstorm warning that's to our south, that now includes parts of Spotsylvania County, Orange County. Can we just go back down to the south and show you this line of, let's just open the whole thing up so I can show you the whole line of showers and storms. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, we're now starting to see some activity and probably going to get some very strong wind gusts right here on the western edge of the Beltway as that passes through. This is a very strong storm right here just to our south and west, and all of this is sort of pushing up and across our region and will continue to do so. If you're just joining us, we are now under a tornado watch for the entire area. So, you know, if you're watching in La Plata in Charles County and you're like, yeah, I've had a couple rain showers, that doesn't mean you won't get severe weather at some point this afternoon. We're all at risk here locally with a tornado watch. That the system could very rapidly create some strong thunderstorms, and we're just watching one round after another the first half of the day as these storms have already verified, and we're only at 12:11 p.m. with additional storms likely to fire up throughout the day. My focus is not as much on the storms off to the north and east, although I do want to mention we have 2 tornado warnings. It is on the growing, blossoming storms off to our south and west. And the reason I'm more focused on those, let's go to the south and west, is because the Weather Service just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for this region. And these storms are growing as we speak and generally tracking and really racing off to the north and east at about 50 miles per hour. and are likely to impact us here in the immediate Washington area in the next hour or so. So again, we're going to continue to watch these storms make progress. All right, I'm going to go back to Taylor. Looks like she might have some updates.
All right, so looks like these, at least these tornado warnings are still ongoing through 12:15. I'm waiting to see if they are going to be extended or not. If they are, they'll likely be just further north into Carroll County, if not going up to Pennsylvania too. So that's something we're watching closely. This is a pretty extensive line going through Carroll County right now. So outside of the tornado warning, looks like we also have winds upwards of 70 miles per hour. So again, seek shelter if you're in the line of that storm. If you've seen it go through already, you know the power that it is punching. Again, like Tucker just said, down towards our south, the area he was actually watching right before they actually issued these this severe thunderstorm warning for that yellow polygon right there, just east of Culpeper. That's racing to the north and east as well. So that's our next batch that will move in here shortly. I'm not going to be surprised if there's some tornado warnings issued with embedded in that line. But again, just to recap, we're continuing coverage because we have these 2 tornado warned storms entering into Carroll County for now. Really getting concerned about the one up towards kind of over Sykesville right now. It's rapidly moving to the north and east. Does have some characteristics of rotation. Again, and this is just I think it's like the 5th or 6th tornado warning. I've lost count at this point of what's been going on. So they're issuing them kind of in 15-minute increments. So this is due to expire 12:15. I do think it's likely they'll extend both of these. They'll just be further north, maybe into just Carroll County, if not into Baltimore County and up into Pennsylvania. So that's how kind of things are shaping up for now. Right now, again, this is just round 1 of several rounds today.
Perhaps you can give me the headlines there, and I can just kind of walk through what we're expecting as far as timing for today. So this is round 1, and we'll get round 2 here shortly. In fact, we're seeing, unfortunately, our next round of storms already blossomed just out to our west. Those are likely to impact more of our region. This first round has mostly been to the west of D.C. The second round will likely impact us here in the immediate Washington area. And we've already had, as Taylor just mentioned, 7 or 8 tornado warnings issued, with more likely this afternoon. I mean, I can't tell you exactly where they will blossom, where the worst of our weather will be, because they're happening so quickly and firing up so quick. It's kind of whack-a-mole here, trying to keep track of where all the storms are blossoming. I can tell you this, we have already had, not confirmed, but we've had a report out of the Weather Service of a 70-plus mile per hour wind gust with a storm that passed through Montgomery County. I can tell you this, we've had reports of downed trees and power lines in Montgomery County, and we're getting widespread reports of wind damage back in Loudoun County as well. In addition, we have now a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Orange County and Spotsylvania County there, a little block of it just to the west of 95 to the south and west of D.C. All right, big update for you. We have lost our tornado warnings, so we are not currently under any tornado warnings. We are, however, likely to see additional tornado warnings develop this afternoon, and furthermore, we're under a tornado watch for the entire region until 7 p.m. So this has been quite an eventful couple hours, and unfortunately, we are just getting started. Do you have anything to add there, Taylor?
I think we're good. So we have the ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings in the yellow shades right there. They're ongoing through about 12:45. Tornado warnings have been dropped for now. If they are reissued, it will likely be into areas like Baltimore County up into southern Pennsylvania. So that's how things are shaping up for now. We'll watch closely for that area, again, down towards our south and west for additional warnings.
Okay, we want to encourage you to continue to monitor the weather throughout the afternoon. Fox Local app, a great way to go. We're going to go off the air here, but we're going to be on Fox Local, the DMV zone, with Guy joining you shortly. And we will continue to give you weather updates. The weather team will be with you all afternoon and this evening, as long as we have the threat of severe weather. Again, as we're leaving you here on air here at Fox 5, the tornado warnings have expired. We have some additional severe thunderstorm warnings. We are likely to get additional tornado warnings this afternoon. Really watch that forecast carefully. And we'll see you on Fox Local here in just a couple of minutes. I'll toss it off to Guy.
All right, Tucker, we'll take it from here. Flash flooding, heavy rain, and gusty winds. Oh, my. Severe storms continue to wreak havoc on our area. Over the past hour and a half, we've had everything from a tornado watch to a tornado warning. several of them at that. Wind gusts reported at some 70 miles per hour. I should make mention, folks, once you hit 75 miles per hour, we're talking Hurricane 1 category status. This is serious. This is happening now, and this is something that we are covering for you right here on Fox 5. Of course, should you find yourself out and about in a storm, your best bet is to have a preparedness kit. Joining us to discuss that and so much more is Regina Ali, Public and Government Affairs Manager for AAA Mid-Atlantic. Regina, always good to see you and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Guy. Thank you for having me.
I got to tell you, it has been quite the doozy thus far with regard to all of the storms that have passed through the area. And wait, there is more. We are expecting more storms throughout the remainder of the day, which leads me to this, and that is yet again having a preparedness kit if you happen to be caught out and about in one of these storms. Do tell.
Sure, absolutely. So mainly the items you would want to have in an emergency road kit, they vary a little bit as this, the winter months, heavier blankets and things like that. But some of the things you always want to make sure you have. So it would be some water for yourself, your passengers, your pets, some snacks, of course. If you obviously are stuck there for a little bit. You also want to make sure you have something like an emergency flares so that if you should become disabled at the roadside, people can see you and you can be seen. Also, something like this, we have this in some of our AAA stores. These are magnets that you can put on your car so other vehicles can see you as well. You want to have, obviously, a blanket to keep you warm. And again, that's good, especially at this time of the year with all the rain, should you become disabled at the side of the road, particularly with the weather changing up and down. It's hot, it's cold, right? And then an emergency road kit. And this has things in it like jumper cables, a first aid kit, some other things such as that, some little miniature tools. And with the windshield wiper fluid, you also want to make sure that your wiper blades are in good shape as well.
Yeah, Regina, we're getting reports that a number of power lines are down as well, along with a number of trees. And I guess I need to pose the question, and, they say there happens to be no dumb question, so we should still make mention of it. And that is, you shouldn't get out your car if by chance you approach a power line, correct?
That is absolutely correct. Please stay in your car if you approach a power line. And especially with these heavy winds that we're talking about, you want to give yourself ample room. And again, you can be subjected to maybe some flying debris, other cars being pushed into your lanes because of these high winds that we're seeing. High profile vehicles such as pickup trucks and SUVs are particularly vulnerable and at risk to the high winds because of that high profile. So again, should you encounter, hopefully you're giving yourself ample space if you have to be out. Should another vehicle be pushed into your lane because of the wind, or should you encounter some falling debris, that you can sort of react to that. Make sure that you have a really tight grasp, both hands on your steering wheel as well, to help you keep good control of your vehicle.
And yet again, we should also probably focus on distracted driving, meaning that one should focus completely on the road, not, let's say, text and or be on their phone or anything of the like.
Absolutely. We should be focusing and giving 100% attention to the task of driving anyway. That is particularly true when the roads are wet. I can tell you about 1.2 million crashes across the U.S. Are contributed to wet roads. So we know that that's a bigger factor with safe driving when the roads are rough. So we should be paying good attention, focusing on the task of driving, obeying all the rules of the road, and certainly reducing our speed as well.
Gina, we'll end with this, and that is all things flooding. It only takes several inches for water to carry one's car away.
That is absolutely true. So sometimes you'll see the rain and you'll see sort of the high rising waters and you think you can push through that. Do not. You turn around, don't drown. It's certainly not cliche. You want to make sure. We've seen cars swept away in very, like you said, inches of water. So you want to make sure that should you encounter high rising waters, and we certainly may see that with some of this crazy weather we're seeing across the DMV today, you want to make sure that you turn around. Another thing is potholes can be hidden under some of those waterways as well. So make sure if you're seeing high waters, rising waters, you turn around and go the opposite way.
Yet again, Regina Ali from AAA Mid-Atlantic joining us right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. I truly appreciate your patience in your time. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much. Be safe out there.
All right, folks, covering several breaking news stories. One, President Trump now addressing the media. This just minutes ago after we got word that Susie Wiles, his chief of staff, now suffering from breast cancer. Let's go ahead and take a live look in.
Osama bin Laden would knock out the World Trade Center. I made that prediction a year before he did it. I said, you better get him. He's a bad guy. I watched him be interviewed one time, and I said, that's a bad guy. You better get him. 1 year before, exactly. I wrote it in a book. You can even check. About a year before the World Trade Center came down, President Clinton actually had a shot at him, and he didn't take it, unfortunately. I'm not blaming him for that, but he didn't take it. And he ended up knocking down the World Trade Center, but I predicted that too. I predicted a lot of things. We strongly encourage other nations whose economies depend on the Strait for blood. I mean, you know, these people literally need it. 95% of their energy or their oil comes out of the Strait, and they should be in here very happily helping us. And it's incredible. We have such great, we're number one in oil by double now. We drill, baby, drill. We're double any other nation, and it's going to be soon triple any other nation. And that doesn't include Venezuela, who's been great. By the way, the relationship with Venezuela has been fantastic. Millions, literally millions of barrels of oil are being taken out, and it's been a great help, and it's been to their great benefit. The president has done a really good job. We get along with him really well, but we've taken out millions of barrels of oil and brought to Houston and other places for to the refineries. We have refineries set up specifically for that, and it's been a great relationship, and more and more is happening. It's a tremendous oil source, and we're stepping it up very rapidly. The big companies are going in, and they will actually numbers in a pretty short period of time, numbers that they've never been able to do. We'll be doing. There's a lot of oil under that land. We strongly encourage the other nations to get involved with us and get involved quickly and with great enthusiasm. I have that from a number of them, and I'd like to say their names, but frankly, I don't know if they would want me to or not, because maybe they don't want to be targeted. But I say, wouldn't matter if you're targeted or not, because this is a paper tiger that we're dealing with now. It wasn't a paper tiger 2 weeks ago. It's a paper tiger now. So now we're going to get down to the reason. We'll take a couple of questions in a moment, but we're going to get down to the reason we're here today. Actually, this was set up a long time ago. It's the Trump Kennedy Center. Over the past year, we've made incredible strides to restore the true purpose and prestige of this revered institution. Together, we're going to ensure it remains the finest performing arts facility of its kind anywhere in the world. And I don't know that it ever really reached that stage, but it will over a period of time. We're rebuilding it. It's in very, very bad condition. It's been it's been somewhat of a disaster, to be honest with you. It's been let go to hell. That's what they've done. They did a poor job. They spent money in the wrong places. They built some theaters underneath that nobody uses, little ones, tiny theaters that cost $300 million. And the money was spent incorrectly, wrong. We're dealing with some networks on the possibility of renting those little theaters. Nobody's going to use them. They want the big halls. The halls are going to be incredible. They're in bad shape, but when they're completed, the bones are potentially something that could be unbelievable. So I want to, before we begin, I want to thank Rick Grinnell. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's been unbelievable. He was the ambassador, as you know, to Germany. There was no happier woman in the world than Angela Merkel. Angela. She called me, thank you, sir, thank you. Although she liked Rick a lot, there was nobody happier that he was no longer going to be the ambassador to Germany. He was difficult for them. He was not your typical ambassador. He was the opposite. He would do what was best for the United States, not for Germany. And I want to tell you, he did a great job. So good that I put him in charge of a thing called intelligence. And something he didn't really want to do, but he did it, and he did it incredibly well. There were a lot of leakers. He found out the leakers. And when he didn't find out who the leaker was in a certain area, he fired everybody. And he went into one room where there was leaks coming out. These are long-term problems that these various places have had. And he said, who's the one that leaked this? And they wouldn't admit it, so he fired the whole room. And he did a good job, I'll tell you. He was very good. And during this transition period, I asked Rick if he would run it, because we wanted to see. And if you remember when we first took it over, I didn't do it with enthusiasm. I did it because somebody had to do it. I had to turn it around because it was failing. It would have closed, and physically it would have almost fallen down. It was in very bad shape. The steel columns outside, as an example, were meant to be covered. You know, exposed steel is unusual to have in building. What I do best in life is build. I build buildings really well and under budget and ahead of schedule. That's what I do, unlike the Fed building, which is going to cost billions of dollars. It may never open. I mean, right now, we have a wonderful Kevin, a wonderful new head of the Fed coming in. I don't know if he'll ever be able to occupy this complex that was destroyed by Jerome Too Late Powell. I call him too late because he's always too late with interest. Should cut interest rates. He should cut them right now. They should have a special meeting. What's a better time to cut interest rates than now? A third grade student would know that. But that's a terrible thing. But what I do is build. I build great stuff. And what we're going to do is, right outside. In fact, if you look behind me, see the nice gold curtains? If you want to look into a nice foundation and you want to see a lot of work, very deep, very, very deep for specific reasons, we have a magnificent ballroom being built, because this is the biggest room, and it holds like 98 people for dinner. But behind me, you're going to have a ballroom that this building and the people occupying it, in particular, every president for 150 years has clamored for a ballroom, a large, beautiful room. This is a cocktail room, and this whole floor will end up being a cocktail room for the cocktail area or pre-area for the ballroom before dinners. So we'll have heads of state. We can't even do a heads of state dinner. Usually what they do is they would do them on the lawn with a tent. But when it rains, the lawn is very low. And you know the land in Washington. It was built on swampy, wet land. And when it rains and you have the king of Saudi Arabia, we have, as an example, the king of the UK, I would say king of England, who's a great guy. He's coming in very soon. And when it rains, you know what happened? The rain would go over their feet. It would be about 4 or 5 inches over their shoes. This was not good. And it rained a lot. So we're building, finally, because I do that. And by the way, no taxpayer money. I want to put that, zero. It's on time, on budget. It'll be under budget. We're having it under budget, other than we've upgraded it in terms of the marbles we're using. We're using onyx and stones that are incredible. But it'll be something really spectacular. I'm looking at Mr. Steve Wynn, who's over there. He built a spectacular building, and he knows Trump builds a spectacular building. I build better buildings than him. I don't care what he said. But Steve is over here, and he really, with his incredible wife, Andrea, and thank you both for being here. Andrea's on the board, and Steve is so in love with his wife, he asked whether or not he could come. And I can say the same thing for the great Bob Kraft. He's got a wife that's so wonderful. He said, do you think I could come? She didn't have to accept that, She could have said no. But Bob said, I would like to come. So, Bob, we will not let you vote, although his vote would be a good vote. He will vote for the proper thing. But it's good to have you both here. These are two great couples that know a lot about the things I'm talking about, like fixing, whether it's building a stadium or building a building. They know how to do it. So thank you, Steve, very much. But we've made incredible strides over the past year. If you remember, I said I want to run it for a year just to see, because the place is falling down. It's horrible. Air conditioning, heating is going to be ripped out in its entirety, and it needs new. It's old. It's how many years is it, Rick? What's the total? 50, almost, over 50. And we have 50-year-old air conditioning, more than that actually, and it's in bad shape. Everything's in bad shape. It's got to be redone. So I said, let's run it for a year just to see how it works. It's better than you can't just go into something and try and figure it out. And we figured it out over the year. And you have to close it, putting new marbles in, beautiful, beautiful marbles. When you do marbles, you can't have people walking over the marble every night as it's drying and setting and going to a play. So we thought the best way, what I know best in the world is construction. The best way to do it is close it, do it properly, and reopen it, have a grand reopening. And when it's finished, it's going to be far better than it was when it was originally built. When it was originally built, it was good. It has one thing that's very good. It has great sound. I think there's a lot of luck in sound. You have some of the big opera houses. I don't want to get involved with saying which one, but in New York, as an example, where the acoustics were never good. And they've ripped it apart 4 times and rebuilt it, and it was never good. The good thing about the Kennedy Center, the acoustics are good. And they'll only be enhanced based on what we're doing. A lot of it has to do with the stones and the stones you use, the marbles you use, etc. Over the past year, we've made incredible strides to restore the true purpose and prestige that this building will soon gain, I think, at a higher level than it had before. Together, we're going to ensure it remains the finest and will become the finest performing arts facility anywhere in the world. It's got the location, and it will have the building. It's got good bones. It's got good structure. Again, they wanted to originally cover the exposed steel. It was painted a cheap gold, and we turned it into a very expensively painted white, very heavy coat of very powerful white paint meant for steel, exposed steel. A very different kind of paint, but it's almost like putting a stone over the top of it. And the color is white, shiny white, and it looks, a lot of people have commented, it looks so much better. Before they had the steel painted gold, and the gold was very cheap. There's actually never been a paint that's made that will look like gold. Steve will tell you that. You either gold leaf it or use real gold bullion, or you use a different color, Steve. Nobody's ever been able to make a gold paint that looks real. A little minor thing for the media. I'm sure you're thrilled with hearing that. But there's never been a paint. I said, someday I'm going to discover a paint where you don't have to actually use gold leaf. Gold leaf is a very, very big and expensive process, but it's a beautiful thing, but not when you use paint. So we got rid of the gold columns, which looked always terrible. They look cheap and they look fake. Very much like the media, actually. And we took the columns and we painted them white. Before we painted them matte, very importantly, we structuralized them. We replaced a bad steel that was very badly rusting. I mean, these are columns that are holding up a building. And we had to replace areas of columns that were actually rusted out because it was in very bad shape. It's not even describable how bad this building was, both inside and out. I want to thank Rick Grinnell, but you really did a great job, Rick, on this, and we appreciate it. I'm looking for your next venture, because he really was, there was a story he got fired. He didn't get fired. He was here for a short period of time, for a year, figuring it out with Matt and everybody else, and Matt now is going to take over, and he's a pro at construction, great at construction. And I think Matt would like to run the facility too. He's fallen in love with it. And I think he'd do a good job. But if I don't think he will do a good job, I'll say, Matt, you're fired. I'm getting somebody else. So you're under no pressure, Matt, okay? It's like Bob Kraft. If a football player doesn't perform well, typically you will fire him immediately, Bob. Do you ever let them stay around for 4 or 5 years if they're bad? Not too many times, right? So anyway, I learned from you. So I want to thank also Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's been fantastic. I don't know, is Pam here someplace? Oh, hello, Pam. Good. She's been great. And the Speaker has got the easiest job of anybody in government. He's got a majority of 2. I don't like to say 1 because it varies, but between 1, 2, and 3. And I think you're the only man that's ever lived that's able to be very happy about it. In fact, when we get up to 3, you know, every once in a while we get up to 3. Actually, for a period of time, we had it up to 4, and then we had a death. And death is very bad when you're the Speaker and you have a majority of 2 or 3. But we had a death, and then we had another death, and we had some things, and but we're looking very strong. We had one man who was very ill. It looked like he wasn't going to make it. I don't know. I won't mention his name. Should I? Do other people know his name? Do you want to mention it? He'll be proud. Go ahead. Tell him the story.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. President. Congressman Neil Dunn of Florida had some real health challenges, and it was very serious, and had a pretty grim diagnosis. And I mentioned it to the president, and I said, Congressman Dunn is a real champion and a patriot because he's still coming to work. And if others got this diagnosis, they would be apt to go home and retire. And
what was the diagnosis?
It was, I think it was a terminal diagnosis.
He would be dead by June.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay. That's it was grim. That's what I was going to say. I don't think
with a heart problem, by the way. This was a heart problem.
So, long story short, the president called him to encourage him and thank him, and they had a conversation, and the president mentioned in the course of the conversation, you know how to get my doctors involved, and they did, and within a number of hours, they took him to Walter Reed Emergency Surgery. The man has a new lease on life. He acts like he's 30 years younger, and he walked into the conference meeting, and we thought we'd seen a ghost. And I spoke with him over the weekend, and he's encouraged and thankful, and he thanks the president for his leadership and intervention, and thank you.
He actually called Mike. Mike called me and he said, "Sir, we're up by 3, but we're going to lose 1 by June." I said, "Who?" Neil Dunn. He's a great congressman. Incredible. He called to say that he was terminal, really bad heart. There's nothing they can do. I said, "That's bad." Number 1, it was bad because I liked him. Number 2, it was bad because I needed his vote. But he really said, "Mike, I'm going to last this out for the president and you, and however long I live," I mean, it looks like June is the time, but however long I live, I'm going to be voting for you. I mean, how many people are going to say that? Most of them are going to say, "Mike, I'm retiring immediately. That's the end."
He's an extraordinary
man. But he didn't do that. It was really impressive. And then I realized I have doctors in the White House. The White House doctors are incredible, and they've helped me with other people. They're helping me with people right now. People that are very sick are like they're miracle workers. And I said, I have to call them. And I called the 2 doctors. They're both great. And they immediately went over to see the congressman. And he was on the operating table like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
And it was a long operation. They gave him more stents and more everything that you could have. I think he's got everything that you could possibly have. And they called up. They said, "Sir, I think it'll be fine."
All right, yet again, President Trump addressing several things as he meets with the Kennedy Center board. We will continue to monitor that, but now I want to take you to Mayor Bowser as she addresses all things surrounding the severe storms wreaking havoc on our area. Let's take a live look in.
That is expected to move through D.C. this afternoon, with the most extreme weather forecast to happen between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Last night, we announced the D.C. Public Schools will be dismissing 2 hours earlier, have a 2-hour early dismissal, and schools have been communicating directly with families as well. If you are at a D.C. public charter school or independent school, please be in touch with your school to make sure you know what dismissal plans are. I am going to ask Clint Osborne, who leads the district's Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency, to give you some specifics about the forecast. But before I do that, let me remind you of some ways to be prepared. First, sign up for our real-time alerts at alert.dc.gov. We are expecting strong winds, so please secure all of your outdoor items. Bring your pets inside. Make sure you've charged your devices and flashlights, and check on vulnerable neighbors and friends. During the storm, stay inside. If you need to travel, travel before the storm or wait until it's over. Never attempt to drive through flooded roads. If a tornado warning is issued, please move immediately to the lowest levels of your building and shelter in an interior room away from windows. After the storm, be careful when there's high winds, there is likelihood of downed trees and down power lines. Pepco can say more about this, and we will hear from Pepco shortly about how to report outages or report downed power lines. The phone number is 1-877-737-2662. Director Kirschbaum will share more about how we handle downed trees. And we want everybody, of course, to stay connected with us and with our partner organizations. But we also want to set a clear expectation that in the most significant case of weather today, if we have significant numbers of downed trees or down power lines across the city, it could take several days or longer to get back to normal. So we all are praying to the weather gods, but we are also preparing. Once the storm has passed your neighborhood, and we just, again, ask you to check on vulnerable neighbors and friends. So with that, I'm going to turn to Clint Osborne from DCH-SEMA, followed by WMATA General Manager Randy Clark, then DDOT Director Kirschbaum, and Amber Perry, the Pepco Region President. So with that, Clint.
Thank you, Mayor. So as the Mayor said, we have a powerful storm system bringing widespread and severe weather across the eastern United States today. The highest threat is concentrated over the interior mid-Atlantic, where we could be seeing damaging wind gusts and tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center for the National Weather Service has designated the Washington area a moderate threat or a moderate risk. This is a level 4 out of 5, with 5 being the highest risk level for severe thunderstorms, and they have flagged tornado threats. The way they explain this to us is that our current risk level is similar to that of traditional tornado alley states like Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Tennessee. And the last time we had these conditions was the 2012 derecho that caused significant damage to the district. This is a risk level that we rarely see in our area, and we will see temperatures continue to climb this afternoon and fuel this storm. The National Weather Service has already issued tornado warnings to the west and to the south of us, as well as a tornado watch for the district until 7 p.m. They can always escalate that to a more significant tornado warning if conditions become favorable. So as the Mayor said, we ask that you take this storm seriously. We certainly are. This storm will be quick moving. It's going to quickly move through our area, and then it's going to be followed by a cold front. So surprisingly, after hitting 73 degrees today, temperatures are going to drop into the 20s tonight, and it's going to feel wind chills even below that. So we are likely to see a cold advisory for the District of Columbia tonight. We're going to see two bands of storms. The first band will be coming through in the 12 to 2 o'clock hour. The second, more severe storm band is expected from 4 to 6 p.m. And these storms will move rapidly, so please do not wait until the storm is overhead to take action. There are three main hazards at play: damaging winds, tornadoes, and flooding. We are looking at wind gusts of up to 80 miles an hour, as well as possible tornadoes. As the Mayor said, if we do see flooding, we expect it not to be widespread, but rather in low-lying areas and areas where potentially storm drains have been clogged. But as the Mayor said, please don't drive through standing water. At Mayor Bowser's direction, HCM has activated the district's Emergency Operations Center and Joint Information Center. Our first responders and emergency personnel are already positioned to respond to potential impacts. Our priorities are going to be clearing down trees, utility outages, and unplanned road closures as they affect hospitals, schools, and our other government facilities. That allows us to get as much of the community back to normal operations as we can as quickly as possible. But as the mayor said, and I want to reiterate, this will take time. Okay, so a lot of times we get the question, what do I do if a tornado watch happens? So a couple of things will happen. If we reach a tornado watch, the National Weather Service will send a wireless emergency alert. This is the alert that comes directly to your mobile phone. It causes it to buzz and make an alarm sound. A couple of things you can do. One is you can look around your surroundings, whether you're at work or whether you're at home, and find a sturdy, safe place indoors away from windows. If you get that alert, that's where you want to go. The second thing we want you to do is take a look at your phone, go into your settings, and make sure that you're prepared to receive wireless emergency alerts. We know that when a lot of heavy weather alerts come, people tend to turn those off. We want you to turn those back on for this set. The other things I want you to flag, and we'll hear from Pepco as well, but we want people to report fallen lines and outages to Pepco at 1-877-PEPCO-62. We want folks to report non-emergency issues like trees down and trees for removal to 311. If you experience an emergency or you see someone experiencing an emergency, please dial 911. And as the mayor said, please check on your neighbors and loved ones throughout the storm. There's still time for you to sign up for emergency alerts at alert.dc.gov and to enable your wireless emergency alerts on your mobile device. And as always, we ask that you monitor the National Weather Service Baltimore, Washington office and check out our websites, ready.dc.gov, as well as alert.dc.gov to sign up for real-time updates and follow us on social media. I'll turn it over to General Manager Randy Clark from Metro.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Randy Clark, General Manager of Metro. Mayor, thanks for having me, and thanks again for all the great collaboration between the district and Metro. So Metro is also standing up. We have a partial emergency operations center activation this afternoon, mostly concerned around power, trees down, things of that nature. I want to walk through a couple things related to service, though, so the public is aware. Right now, obviously, service is running normal. We hope that will last. As the mayor said, always praying to the weather gods. With that said, we have a couple specific things related to service. On the wind point, if we have sustained wind approaching 65 miles an hour, and sustained basically from 1 minute to 10 minutes, generally sustained winds, we may hold trains at stations. So in theory, a temporary service suspension. What we really do is park trains at stations, keep them safe. We're very concerned about elevated aspects of our rail system. But as you know, our rail system makes up a very large geographical area, not just here in the district. So storm activity in Shady Grove might be significantly different than Franconia, or Ashburn could be significantly different than New Carrollton. So we are going to watch the weather very closely on that. But again, sustained wind 65 miles or above, we are likely to hold rail service at stations until safety allows us to move forward. On the bus side, we are even more concerned about kind of micro weather impacts. So if we have a tornado warning in that area, we are likely to just hold all bus service either at a station or in a very safe place. So both of those things we want to really watch kind of minute by minute weather conditions. On the Metro Access side, we've already asked customers to reschedule trips, and we've done a lot of those, really trying to avoid as much as possible any Metro Access trips during the times that Clint mentioned. Again, very regional approach to this. We might have very distinctly in different conditions throughout the whole region where we operate. The big thing we want to point out is please follow us on social media, obviously our media partners that are in the room, and Metro Pulse for real-time information. So when it's all said and done, we're going to operate as long as we can safely. We're going to adjust service based on those conditions, but we are always going to make sure it's about the safety of our customers, our employees, and then we'll work, if there are cleanup conditions, with both our partners at Pepco on the power side and obviously the district and any other regional partners on cleanup. Again, Mayor, thanks for having Metro part of this.
Good afternoon. Sharon Kirschbaum, the Director of the District Department of Transportation. As the other speakers mentioned, while there may be localized flooding, our biggest concern is really down trees due to the severe winds. The District Department of Transportation has 24 certified arborists on our team. They'll be working around the clock, and we have ample emergency contracts to assist with removal. If you see a down tree, please call 311 or use your 311 app. Details are helpful if you can put a picture in or just clarify if the tree is blocking the sidewalk, partial road closure, full road closure. The teams do triage in terms of how they prioritize to get those removed, but we have ample resources. Depending on the severity, though, it could take some time. So we appreciate your vigilance. And again, 311 is the best front door if you see a down tree. Thanks.
Right. Good afternoon, and thank you, Mayor Bowser, for having us here today. So, you know, we certainly are focused on coordination and preparations at Pepco. We know that severe weather events like this can bring a lot of uncertainty for our customers. We are expected and have really been planning for this storm over the last several weeks with our crews, with many of our line and field workers. We are expecting really strong winds, as you've heard from many here, lightning, heavy rain, possible tornadoes coming through the area. And so this could lead to widespread damage, of course, down trees on power lines, broken poles, and a lot of power outages. So our number one priority is certainly safety and the well-being of our customers that we serve. So we're going to be fully mobilizing our crews here across the district before, during, and after this storm. This is going to be a serious sort of pattern coming through. In advance of the expected weather, Pepco has been preparing by, number one, activating enhanced staffing plans. So again, this started well before this weather system is coming through. We've added additional line crews, field personnel, damage assessors, tree crews, and customer care representatives are going to be available with enhanced staffing around the clock. Also, we're coordinating closely with all the local emergency management services that you've heard from, certainly transportation services, just so that we can make sure that we're prepared and fully aligned on our number one priority, again, public safety. We'll be closely monitoring the weather forecasts, storm timing, and positioning our crews' equipment strategically across the service territory. Pepco is constantly doing work to enhance our customer support and limit the number of outages that may be experienced during the severe weather. However, as we know, no system is fully protected, even with the focus that we have on reliability and safety. So once the storm kind of comes through, we will be assessing restoration and focused on restoration. It is our responsibility and commitment to our customers. I also want to thank our Pepco crews that started this days ago to really be there to support our customers and our communities. And really, many are on standby and ready to help in very, very challenging weather conditions that we're expected to see. So we encourage customers certainly to take steps for their own safety. Make sure that you have powered up your essential devices, your phones. If you have a medical device that depends on electricity, please make sure that you have a backup battery and support for that. Make sure it's fully accessible. Please have a backup plan in the event that your electricity goes out and you have various medical needs. If your power goes out, as we've mentioned, please report it right away on our website. We've got our mobile app, text, phone, all these are available 24/7. Last sort of note, power lines may be down. Again, if they hit wires, power lines will go down. Please do not touch it. Please do not come near those power lines. They're very, very dangerous. Report them immediately. But we at Pepco are here for you before, during, and after this storm. So thank you, and please stay safe.
Okay, we'll take a few questions. Any questions? Questions? Yes.
Given
As I mentioned, we have early dismissal for our schools, and I will permit the use of liberal leave for DC government operations, and we are encouraging people to be off the roads. Yes. The directors will let us know if they have any staffing issues. My expectation, my hope is that we can maintain services. If we don't have staffing available, we will announce by operation. I should have noted that we will, and I communicated it to the city administrator. I will communicate with our other children serving agency, DPR, that we're going to pull down the DPR activities for the afternoon. Yes. No, I'm not sure. We can deploy pretty quickly. I think Pepco talked about some pre-deployment. I'll turn to them.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Hauser. So we are not seeing any particular areas at this time. Surely we have in the district areas with very large trees, established trees. So we're keeping an eye along parkways, roadways, and certainly, as I mentioned, we have enhanced our teams for tree trimming so they can be on site very quickly to get those trees off the lines and get our lines restored. So our focus really is on making sure that our field and line workers and tree trimming services are available very quickly and positioned throughout the city for quick response. In terms of the process, is that your question? So a lot of times, first, our focus is always safety first. And so when we're looking at the areas across the city that are most severely impacted, we typically will have line watchers that are going out, letting us know exactly where power lines are down, where there are the most impactful or severe. And then our crews will go out to actually cut those, trees off the line. In terms of the actual process, it is a lot of safety. We put up all the safety precautions and cones. We want to make sure that no one actually goes into those areas as we're doing our work. So the focus is always on our safety first. Mm-hmm.
Me to answer that question, we hope that it passes us by. In that case that you're referring to, I believe it was a microburst that went through a neighborhood, and it was terrible for those neighbors for that time that it was out. It was a lot of property damage. People had to move out of their homes, in some cases to rebuild, but it was very concentrated. So we have no idea how these winds will present, if they will drop in a neighborhood, if they will go through the whole city, or it could pass us by. So what we're doing is getting prepared. I understand we're still under a tornado warning, and if it escalates toward tornado watch, then I think our expectation of damage also goes up. All right, last question. I am disappointed that we've seen children act in this way again, and I am very focused with MPD in our approach that we're going to fully use our juvenile curfew to be prepared for that kind of occasion. Yep. Well, I think it depends on the crime. I understand that it was a weapon discharged. I think we made an arrest, and whoever was apprehended for discharging their weapon should be fully dealt with the law. And I think that, we can talk till we're blue in the face about the kids need more to do. Kids have ample programs to do. What we need is accountability for families and children who think that it's okay to treat any neighborhood like that. Yes, I have plenty of suggestions. That's why we implement ways to keep children from congregating. Thank you, everybody.
All right, there you have it. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser saying her fingers are crossed that the severe weather will bypass Washington, D.C. Nevertheless, she encouraged D.C. residents to sign up on alert.dc.gov. We actually pulled this up on our website right here, or on our computer, rather. You get a chance to take a look at it, encouraging D.C. residents to sign up for the latest alerts. Should a tornado warning be issued, you would be reminded of that immediately. She also stated that, residents should stay inside and do not drive through flooded roads. She went on to say that it could take several days to get back to normal if we do experience downed trees and or power lines. Yet again, we have experienced the first wave of these severe storms and are expecting more to continue throughout the remainder of the afternoon. We're going to get a live update with our very own Gwen Talbert very shortly. In the meantime, let's take you back to the White House, where President Trump yet again sitting down with the Kennedy Center board and addressing the media.
They cost $1 billion. And we say, I think it's okay now, Pepe, take your ship, drive it through the Strait of Hormuz. He may say, let me wait a little while, because it takes ship owners, and these ships are very expensive. They can cost up to $2 billion. So they don't want to take a chance that, gee, I think you'll be okay. They got to know it. So they don't have to set, we don't know if they even set any mines. But the thought that they may have is enough to keep people from saying, we don't need it. Now, we are pounding that area, that coast, as you know, left side. We're pounding it, like really pounding it hard. And again, they may have no mine set. We hit every one of their mine droppers. They call it the mine layers, right? The ships. They're pretty sophisticated ships. Every one of them is gone. But it only takes one. So it's a little unfair. You win a war, but they have no right to be doing what they're doing. But we're hitting them very hard. And today is a big day where we're pounding a certain area that has very much to do with the strait. And I think we'll get it going very soon. In addition, we do have other nations coming in. You need people to watch and people to see. We have other nations coming in. Yes, please.
If the United States is working to secure the Strait of Hormuz for the benefit of other countries like China, and our allies aren't yet stepping up to your standard, is the United States getting back to being the world's policeman?
Look, the United States should not be very much involved. They can on a certain basis. They've been doing it for a long time. But I've always said, if you look back years ago, I said, why aren't we being reimbursed? You know, these are the richest countries in the world. Why aren't we being reimbursed for maintaining the Hormuz Strait? And why aren't we being reimbursed for that? I've said that for years. You can go back. They reported on it yesterday. I've been saying a lot of things about the straits. Number one, I said it's the one advantage they have, but that's a suicidal advantage because they kill themselves more than they kill the rest of the world. And there are things you can do with time. There are other things you can do. But I think we're going to have the situation straightened out pretty quickly, and I think we're going to have some good help, and I think we're going to be disappointed in some nations too. And I'll let you know who those nations are.
One of your advisors, David Sachs, said the other week that the U.S. should, quote, declare victory and get out of the Iran war.
Yeah,
he also warned that if the conflict escalates, Israel may contemplate the use of a nuclear weapon. Has he shared that assessment with you?
No, yes. And Israel wouldn't do that. Israel would never do that. And, there's a theory. You pounded them to hell, and you could just leave now, and it'll take 10 years for them to build back not nearly what they have right now. And I guess that's another theory. But we want to have it ended so that another president doesn't have. Look, for 47 years, no president was willing to do what I'm doing, and they should have done it a long time ago. It would have been a lot easier. There's no president that wanted to do it. And yet every president knew. I've spoken to a certain president, who I like, actually, a past president, former president. He said, I wish I did it. I wish I did. But they didn't do it. I'm doing it. Yeah.
Which president?
I can't tell you that. I don't want to embarrass him. It would be very bad for his career, even though he's got no career left. Go ahead, please.
You mentioned.
How about the man right
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, you mentioned that you're not entirely sure who you're dealing with, who the leadership is in Iran. Do you see a viable opposition movement still in that country following all of the protests that we had seen before the airstrikes and kind of an opposition movement that could become a viable leader in Iran?
Well, the biggest problem, and, we have brave people in this room, but the biggest problem that I see is that, they put out a warning, and we have the warning. We get everything they get. And it said any protester that goes onto the street will be immediately shot and killed. This is a little tougher than the American way. This is not quite as tough as, nobody can believe it. So I can't imagine, they don't have guns. And the other ones have guns. Highly sophisticated machine guns and AK-47s and other kinds of guns. And they did that with the women. So the women had 250,000, even 500 people protesting a year ago. And they shot women right through the middle of the forehead with snipers. And they didn't have to do many. About 10 went down bleeding profusely. And 250 to 500,000 women went running in the other direction. Because they can be brave, but they're not stupid. And they have no gun, and you have snipers in buildings specifically for this reason. So a woman goes down falling, bleeding from the head, and it doesn't take long for that to spread. And when that spreads, that crowd dispenses. And nobody else has been able to do that to the extent that these people are violent. They killed a minimum 2 weeks ago, 32,000 people. So, and they put out actually a notice 2 days ago, if you protest, you will be shot and killed. So, I don't know. I would say Mike Johnson's the only person I know who has the courage to go out in that kind of an atmosphere.
Yet again, President Trump addressing the press corps surrounding all things with regard to the ongoing conflict in Iran. According to the president, he stated we should have this wrapped up pretty quickly sometime in the near future. We'll continue to monitor what the president has to say. But our other top story of the hour, well, it happens to surround these severe storms that are now wreaking havoc and or earlier wreaked havoc on our area. But wait, there's more. Perhaps we could see more storms later this afternoon as well. Gwen Talbert now joining us with the very latest. Gwen, I got to tell you, it's been quite the busy morning for you and the entire weather team.
Yes, definitely. And, Guy, this is only round one. round 2 is coming into the later afternoon hours and into this evening. So we really want people to understand and be really vigilant. You know, this is it's not being taken lightly by any of us or the National Weather Service. And so that's why it's just really important. We've already had tornado warnings. We've had some damage reports already that are out there. And we want people to understand the severity of when we talk about tornado warnings and watches and severe thunderstorm warnings and watches.
And I'm so glad you touched on that. You did a very great job earlier while on air describing the difference between a watch and a warning. And for those who perhaps didn't get a chance to see that, I'm hoping you can do just that again.
Yeah, sure. I mean, just take a look at what we're seeing right now with our radar and the intensity of these storms that are coming through. Now, those yellow boxes that you see that are filled in there, those are severe thunderstorm warning boxes. And if you look at an outline that's in red, the outline in red is a tornado watch area, and we are under that for a good portion of our area. Now, a watch means that the potential is there for intense severe weather to occur. But a warning means it is already happening. And so take cover immediately. So if someone tells you, you know, I see these storms coming through, I'm not sure how intense they are, make sure you tune into Fox 5, either online or through Fox Local, through the Fox 5 weather app, or on air. If you hear us say there is a warning, that means it is happening. If it is a tornado warning, immediately take cover. And some of the things we try to educate people on is, what does that mean?
Sure.
Well, that means go to the lowest level of your home or the building you're in, go to an area that does not have windows, stay away from windows, and go to an interior room. And, you know, don't be anywhere where trees are nearby. Take that into consideration. If you are in a building where trees are nearby, trees and power lines are really what will come down in this weather. Today we're talking extensive winds. I mean, right now winds, you know, from 8 to 22 miles an hour and gusting right now only up to 36. And I say only up to 36 because, Guy, on a normal day, we would go, oh my goodness, look how gusty it is. But on a day like today with these storms coming through, we are talking winds that could be anywhere from 65 to 80 miles per hour. Down trees, down power lines. And so when we see severe thunderstorm warnings, even though this is not a tornado warning, what that means is that as that line of storms that you see coming through there, that intensity is shown in that bright red, that this storm has the potential to become a tornado. Wow. It has the potential. So this is your time to start preparing now. You could be in an area where you could have power out for a long period of time. You could be in an area where a tornado might come through your neighborhood. So these are all the things ahead of time that you really need to take seriously and think about.
Unconfirmed, but we got reports that perhaps wind gusts surpassing 70 miles per hour in Montgomery County earlier today. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gren, but the Category 1 hurricane is 75 miles per hour. Is that correct?
Right. And so because that's not confirmed yet exactly, you know, I don't want to get too much into detail in terms of what that might have been in terms of a tornado. But we are getting some of those reports in now from the National Weather Service. And, you know, I know that they're very, very busy today. But, you know, the potential for any of these storms to become tornadic is definitely there. Now, this particular area here, you can see just how strong that line of storms is. If you look at the coloring of the red and the yellow, we're really watching that. And that actually, if you look at it, once it pulls its way and ends at the end of this radar track, you can see that's a pretty organized line. Yeah. That's what we don't like, because we could be looking at squall lines developing. And that's what we think is going to happen later on today. So this is, you know, think about it this way. We've got the strong cold front that is our weather maker today. It's still out to the west. But ahead of that front, we've got this warm, moisture-laden, humid air that's in place, which is why today our highs are going to be like 70 degrees, okay? But unfortunately, we have a strong cold front coming. And I like to describe it as when you have the cold interacting with the warm, it's like cymbals clashing. They don't like each other in that kind of scenario. And so therein, the atmosphere becomes very unstable when it's warm and sticky and humid. When the cold front comes through and that clash begins, that's where we're going to have problems. But all this is happening now ahead of that front. So that's why it's round 1. Round 2 will be with the passage of that cold front, Guy, and then we'll have the action happening again.
Yet again, which is very unusual for this time of the year because, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's still winter, Gwen.
Oh, yes, it sort of is, because the official first day of spring, meteorological spring, is not until Friday. But you know what? We had all this action a week ago as well. The other interesting factor with this, though, Guy, is if you remember a week ago, we had thunderstorms, and I was down by the cherry blossoms that day. And then, before the evening was over, we had snow showers.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Very well. Yeah, we were on air when that happened. Sure.
Today, rinse and repeat. Okay.
Really?
Because when that cold front comes through, on the backside of it today is extremely colder air. Cold enough air that any of the moisture that's in place could become snow showers. And that is what is happening. That's what the setup is going to be today as well. Some, quickly passing snow showers. But the dramatic temperature change from today in the 70s to tomorrow's high only in the upper 30s and 40s is because when that cold front comes through, it's just ushering in all that cold air.
A script definitely made for a movie.
Yes.
A horror flick at that. I want to revert
sure.
back to the storms that took place earlier today. And I watched as you all discussed how fast they were moving. I mean, at a very fast pace.
Absolutely.
And I'm hoping you can explain as to why that happened. And will we see that again during round 2 later on this afternoon?
It's very possible. It all has to do with the winds. The winds are the thing that kicks in the energy. The thing is you get the wind flow coming in from the southwest, and then you get another wind flow in the upper atmosphere coming in from another direction. They kind of overlap, and then the storms become vertical, and that's what we don't want because that's when the rotation starts. But when those storms are moving through, they are just speeding their way across. And it just has to do a lot with the winds. And so, by this afternoon, when we're looking at that squall line possibly setting up, we really hope it does move through quickly because then it's less damage for other places. There are times when we have what's called training, and that's when they sort of sit there and they sit there and they sit there. And that's when we have to deal with localized flooding. We don't really want to see that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we're going to have some flooding issues. And, take a look at what I'm showing you here, Guy, because you can see this is an example of that colder air coming.
I see it to the
Once
west.
that main line comes through, look at this. That's that colder air setting up. So the precipitation changes from rain, heavy rain and showers, to the snow showers because it's now in a colder air sector. It's not warm enough to support it as just rain, but it's cold enough to support it as being a snow shower coming through. And that's what this model is showing you. Here we are right into tonight before it finally clears and it's out of the way.
Wow. I want to talk about the time frame, which you just touched on yet again. Earlier, it was to my understanding that perhaps we would see the worst between 11 a.m., 2 hours ago, up until perhaps 8 p.m. tonight. We're, 3 hours in or 2? If my math serves me correct.
And look what's already happened so far.
And so I guess, have we seen the worst, or we just can't, we don't know as yet?
We don't know as yet, but it's interesting because I was talking with my colleagues in the weather department just before coming out here with Tucker and Caitlin, and we were saying that in a sense, this almost seems like the worst this morning, but it may not be. If you look at the severe risk by the Storm Prediction Center, we are under a moderate risk. We haven't been under a moderate risk since 2023, okay? So we're sort of like, whoa, that's just an alert right there. But it all is going to depend on just how that front and that squall line lines up. As whether or not it will be. And originally, here's what we put out. We put the timing of the storms, in the afternoon hours will be through 9 o'clock at night, and you can see what we're talking about with those winds. Can you imagine 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts?
Yeah.
Which is why if you don't have to be out in this weather, I really want it to make sure our viewers know this. Stay home. Stay inside and just stay tuned to us so you know what is happening and when it's happening. Because our goal is to make sure that everybody stays safe.
Sure.
And by doing, this and getting the information out as best we can, that's what we are trying to do. But it's sort of like, we're trying to warn you ahead of time. So just don't think, oh, well, it's not raining at my place, or there's a storm, but it's, miles away from me. I don't have to worry. don't take that kind of attitude, because anything can fire up with these circumstances anywhere at any time.
Yet again, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser reminding D.C. residents to sign up on alert.dc.gov for the latest up-to-the-minute warnings. Also stating that one, as to your point, should definitely stay home. Do not drive if you have the ability to stay home. And that should we experience down power lines and/or down trees, well, it could take several days to get all of that cleaned up. I know you're busy, Gwen. We'll let you get back to the Weather Center, if you will, for all the latest. And, of course, if you haven't already done so, folks, we encourage you to download the Fox Local app so you can take that forecast with you.
And the Fox 5 weather app.
There you go. We'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Got some power players on the show today. Yes, talking about the one, the only John Booty, Ken Harvey, both former NFL players and still kicking butt in a major way.
In a major way, I guess.
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Power players. I like the intro. Yeah.
Well, I mean, last time I sat next to this guy, I mean, he tapped me and I almost, almost fell over.
I'm not tapping anymore.
He's still lifting Volkswagens on a daily basis.
Volkswagens?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, we're talking about the annual congressional football game, which gets underway tomorrow, guys. This is really exciting.
At Nationals Park. We moved to Nationals Park tomorrow. The game starts at 7, but the gates open up at 5:30. The NFL is doing a play football clinic for the youth.
Yeah.
And we're just looking forward to going out there and having some fun with the members of Congress against the Capitol Police and having for the worthy cause, Ken?
Well, yeah, I mean, that part of it is like you hear Congress members, love them or hate them, a lot of people on the hate side. And the thing is that they're together. Democrats and Republicans playing together against the Capitol Hill Police to raise money for charity, which is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And so we're excited to be there. We're excited to be the coaches of the congressional members. And it should be a fun game.
Yeah, we got some NFL legends coming out. Like, some of them not going to play, like Gary Clark. He's not playing. Raymond Cohen's sort of iffy, but we have Darnarian McCants. Who else?
Some of the younger guys.
Sean Springs not going to play. Keith Willis. But we have Keith. We have Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I saw that. So that star player extraordinaire. Yeah. I mean, so are we going to get a hike, and then he's actually playing?
He's actually our quarterback for the members. A mean machine. He's the members' mean machine quarterback. Offense. Yeah. So that'll take some pressure off our other quarterbacks. They don't have to get out there now.
We got to win a game. We got to win a game.
So obviously,
how your legs, man? We got to win this game.
Well, I'm the punter. That's about as best as I can do. Okay. And I'm kind kind of small for that too. But you all being friends, it's funny because now you're going to be competitors. And so I'm curious, the smack talking happen between the both of you? You're on the same team. Oh, I thought you were coaching against each other.
No.
Okay, yeah, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, you guys are awfully friendly to be coaching against one another.
Seriously. Now, we're in practice. He coached the defense, not coached the offense, and we kind of bump heads.
We've had moments.
He wanted to beat me up one time.
Really?
Yeah, Coach, yes.
John, he might have.
He got me on that one.
Yeah, he might have you
I
on
can
that
outrun
one.
him still.
We've had moments, but that's kind of the life lesson, right? Is that you can have disagreements, you can have those fights, but ultimately, it's the goal, whatever your goal is. The end goal is to win the game.
Yeah.
And so we come together. We've been knowing each other since
Met him in 1988 at the NFL Combine,
and
then we became teammates in 1993 with the Cardinals.
At the NFL Combines, he was just sitting there like, oh my God.
I'm looking at this guy like, man, where did he escape from? No, I didn't mean that. Stop that. Hey, that's the quarterback right there. You threw that one-hander?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, that was producer Joey as well. But obviously, so many folks coming together for one cause, and that is to raise money for several charities. Is that correct? Based right here in this area.
Yeah. Well, so the main one is Capitol Hill Police Memorial Fund for the family of fallen officers. Which you look at all the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
Who deserves it better, and who deserves better to give it to them than the Congress members. So.
So in 1998, Mr. Chestnut and Mr. Gibson, who was killed in the line of duty at the Capitol, and so a couple of members of Congress decided to come together and do this game. So they started the game in 2004, and now it's been growing ever since. But again, just like coming together, both sides of the aisle with the Capitol Police to do something for the members of the Capitol Police officers who have some hard times hit them.
And the members at the police don't like get the extra bow when they.
But could be a lot of that.
But it's also it's AA Advantage, which works with inner city kids and families, our military kids, which is also as important, and then
the Boys and Girls Club. NFL to host the NFL Play Football Clinic before the game, so we have like kids from 7 to 12 out there doing a football clinic.
And NFL's done such a huge, phenomenal job of being a part of this for since the beginning, since way back when, because they understand, the value of sports. It brings people together, and brought us together. We would have probably never met each other. He was riding a different way than I was riding.
And he rode the short bus.
And,
hey, so you guys are kind of good at this. You can take this on the road. You know that, right?
So when you come back and it's just one chair, you know what happened, right?
Thank you, man.
You all touched on this earlier, and that is you have moved to a different venue, which to me says this thing is really growing because you were at Audi Field before, correct? Now at Nats Park.
It's been progressively. I mean, we started off at a school, Gallaudet,
then Eastland High School, then DC Armory, then back to Gallaudet, then Audi Field. Now at Nationals Park, and maybe 4 or 5 years from now, 5 years from now, we'll be at 2.0. RFK, right? Awesome. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Inside, won't have to worry about the weather.
Speaking of the future of RFK State, where you used to be based, I'm curious. We've seen a lot of changes with the Commanders over the last several months, specifically free agency. Are you impressed thus far?
I am. I mean, I would be more disappointed because, like, you expected them to do some good stuff, right? Because of the season last year. You learn from your mistakes and you get better. And I think they saw that they were too quick to think we got it made automatically and nothing could happen. They saw injuries happen. They saw players holding out, all that sort of stuff. So now you can see them making strategic moves for the long term, but also a power play for right now. So I think it's good.
They have a lot of money, too, to spend.
They have a lot of money.
But we also learned that, hey, you can have a lot of money and get a lot of players to come in and don't mesh.
Yeah.
But hopefully, your general manager is doing a great job in getting the right people that are going to buy into the system. That's what you want, the right people to buy into the system. They can come in and be playmakers,
And the system is a coach. It's like there's a coaching staff here that most players say they want to play for.
Want to play for. They want to play in DC.
That is a different tune because we've all been here where that was not said in the past several years ago.
They probably will say, hey, I want to come play for the coach, but no. Back in the day, they had different ownership. I don't want to come in for that. But, now they have ownership here like, hey, we want to do some things here in Washington, D.C. They almost made it to the Super Bowl last year,
I mean, people want to be part of the success. and say, I contribute to their success. That's, as a player coming from another team, you want to say that I contribute to making this team a Super Bowl
Like when
team.
Ken came over from the Carolina Falcons, but the Cardinals,
Yeah.
he
That was
wanted to
my
make
mindset.
the successful transition to the Washington Redskins at the time. So in
Yeah,
1994, he was, he became this All-Pro.
I will say this real quick. I know we talk a whole lot, but
No.
That's what we do on this show.
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
the one thing that I think me, myself, and probably a lot of
What
players
about I?
would regret probably the most. You can have all the individual accolades, the trophies, the Pro Bowls, but to not win as a team. That's your goal, is to win as a team. I never experienced that. And I think every player coming here wants to get to a point where they say, we won as a team.
And the end goal is to make it to the Super Bowl. That's what we all want to do. We want to get with a team that's going to win. You can have all the talent. I played on a team that had a lot of talent, but just didn't make it to the Super Bowl. And I still feel like, man, that what if,
Yeah. I think the what if we could focus on yet again tomorrow, and that is the
Win
feel-good
that
Super
game.
Bowl. Because what
yes.
you all are doing
For charity.
is giving back in a major way.
Yes.
So yet again, we're making reference
And
to
we're
the
chasing that win.
football game.
Again.
Yeah, we chased it. We chased the win.
We're going to win this
They
one.
got these two old dinosaurs out there trying to play.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure y'all still got it. Take my word for it, D&B. Ken Harvey, the one and only John Booty, both of which joining us right here.
Thank you,
on the
sir.
Fox
Yeah.
5 Live Zone.
Appreciate
Thank you,
you,
guys.
man.
I appreciate you coming
Hey,
in.
listen.
Played in
I
slow
wanna say
motion
it.
and speed it up.
Last time I'm always on Zoom. I'm at home talking with him. I want to see that catch.
Well, we don't have the football.
We don't have the
here.
football?
No, didn't bring the football.
Man, I'm here live.
Yeah,
We don't have it.
Yeah, well, that means we got to have you back in
We got to
studio.
have him back in studio. All right.
All right, guys. We'll
Okay.
take a quick. Two major winners yet again joining us right here on the Live Zone. We go from those winners to these winners. Yes, for the first time ever, both the Howard University men's and women's basketball teams are going to the big dance. Both teams celebrated last night on campus, and the women will now play Ohio State. The men will travel to Dayton to take on UMBC. But as they always say, it's ladies first. Joining us to discuss the major accomplishments happens to be the Bison head coach, Ty Grace, the MEAC Coach of the Year in her 11th season, joining us right here on the Live Zone. It's not every day I am graced by excellence, and today that's happening because you are here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Guy. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing fine, but you have to be doing extra fine. I mean, I am so proud of what you all have been able to do over on the campus of Howard University. 11 years, Coach. 11 years, and the proof is in the pudding. Yet again, you all are headed to the big dance.
Yes, we are. It's a blessing, man. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and for my team to be able to get this experience. It's been a lot of hard work. So we just ready to go. It's been an exciting 48 hours.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the question is, have you gotten any sleep?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All week up into the conference tournament, it's just been like when the days are just rolling into each other, and it's all good, but like no sleep.
Yeah, and now you have to prepare for Ohio State. This is going to be the first time that you all are taking on that team.
Yes. So very excited about that. I'm glad that we're in an area where a lot of our fans can get to. The men are playing in Dayton, so it's just going to be a great time. Very, very historic season for Howard basketball.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch all coverage of what you gals and guys are doing over there, and it's just pure bliss. You know, I felt like I was missing out. What do they call it? FOMO, fear of missing out, because I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great atmosphere. I'm just so proud of both teams, man, especially my team, obviously. But to be able to have this experience and to see that joy you see right there on the screen, man, it just means everything. And I'm excited to get to Ohio.
Yeah. So as you just stated, now it's game time in a major way. What is it, Coach, that you tell your players in order to get them prepped for the upcoming game against Ohio State?
I mean, I think they're, in their mind and hearts, they're ready to go. Like, they're just excited for this opportunity and experience. So, we're going to do what we've always done. We're going to be who we always are. But there's just an extra layer of excitement for us. So I know they'll be ready. They are.
Yeah. All right, we'll end with this, and that is, yet again, I want to put the shine on you. the MEAC Coach of the Year. Just to hear me say that, and for you to hear me say that, how does it make you feel? Because it's real.
Yes, it is. It's an honor. I mean, I'm so grateful for my time to be at Howard and to lead and be recognized by my peers. It's a great accomplishment. This is my second one. And so it feels just as good as the first time I was nominated MEAC Coach of the Year. So I'm very happy. I'm very proud. And I'm thankful that I was recognized that way.
All right. Well, we're going to speak it into existence. Y'all going all the way. I know it. and I just can't wait to hold on to the coattails. I'm just that guy just hanging on.
You're part of the family, guy. You're part of the family.
Well,
You're right there with us. Thank you.
Yet again, Coach Ty Grace, the MEAC Coach of the Year in her 11th season as the Howard women's basketball team now move on to take on Ohio State. Congratulations, Coach, and I truly appreciate you joining us right here on the Live Zone.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. Thank you.
You bet. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. Hey, we're talking with Matt Dillon. Oscars red carpet action coming up next right here on the Live Zone.
Back. Nice to see you.
I'm glad you made it. You were flying in from.
I am the tornado. Just to let you know, the tornado warning has arrived, and the results say like we're gonna twirl it up, baby, because these Oscar folks.
Yeah.
There's some interesting things. But yes, I'm here. We're safe.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're here. I should also make mention that, by the way, you are presenting at this year's star-studded 10th annual New You Awards.
I am.
Wow.
Can you make it to Miami? Because I got a seat at my table for you always, brother.
I'm there.
I'm super excited.
Miami, I'm there. You just got to be after this. We'll talk about it. Hey, speaking of talking, we have a lot to talk about with regard to what was on the red carpet last night.
We surely do. I again am blown away. I think this is the kind of pinnacle of award season, and nobody does it better than the A-listers, the award nominees, the presenters.
Yeah.
But I want to kick off because I think you and I both know who my best dress is. Can you tell me who it is? Pull that photo. Come on.
Tiana Taylor?
Home run on another level. Let's look at this. The embroidery on this Chanel look, I think, is amazing. If you really go into details here, glass, pearls, and crystals. So that minute detail that looks at the top like feathers is glass. And I think that is like, the girl pushes herself. She has a genuine love of fashion. If you've seen her, she was in Milan, Paris, front rows. So she's pulling these right off the runway. This girl has so much clout right now. I'm like, you are a winner, baby. So much. What I want to say is, let's look at the necklace on this.
Yeah.
18 carats of Tiffany & Co. Now, this really completes it. this is the start of what I will call the bird trend of the Oscars, because if you look at the crescendoing effect of the lines and the symmetry on this, it almost looks like a swan, like Black Swan.
Yeah.
It is so impeccably tailored, and I think this is her moment to just be like, hey, I came, I saw, I definitely conquered, and I'll see y'all again very soon. I mean, how you can't do better than that.
Yeah, conquering on the red carpet and
the cut of the hair, like everything she does, I just think is phenomenal. So blessings to her, and continued blessings, because that girl's career is out of control.
Well, real quick with her, because I know we have so many more to get to, but is it okay to switch up? Let's say one day you wear Gucci, the next day you wear Louis Vuitton. Is that expected?
Let's have a look at her. She's literally worn Chanel for the entire run.
Got it.
So she's House of Chanel, and that's that queen. But I did see, you know those self-driving cars, the Waymo? Go check out Tiana Taylor's Instagram. She got a paycheck for that. That's all I'll say.
Really?
She leaning up against that in the gown on a Waymo, going, yes, this is how we get to the Oscars.
Absolutely love it. All right, next on the list.
Kate Hudson. I think royalty, there's a beautiful moment with her and her mom, Goldie. I think they're iconic Hollywood institutions. Now, the green peplum here, I think, listen, this is not wowza in another level. What this does give is old Hollywood. Now, the peplum, the cut on this, I think is what makes it interesting. Otherwise, it just would be like another gown. What I'm really loving about this is the top part of it, the bodice, is truly like something very fresh and unique. I think this is very in theme for Oscars. The glam on her is exquisite. She's a classic.
Yeah.
I don't think she needs to do too much, or she never tries too hard, because she is that kind of institution of Hollywood. Goldie first, then her. So I feel like this, to me, she looks like a statue, no?
She does,
She looks like a statue.
I agree.
Now, you want to know how much her diamonds are worth?
How much?
So Tiana's were, what, $8 million? Kate Hudson's? $35 million.
Are you serious? Let me look at this.
Yes, sir. Let's go
Wow.
right in. Look at this. Look at
Sheesh.
this. I mean, and my diamonds, I lost them. Sorry about it. I ain't got no diamonds today. We try.
Well, along with the dress, security standing nearby as well.
That.
Yeah,
you know
by
that.
far.
Let's continue the bird thing.
Okay.
Demi Moore has had quite the run. Now, a lot of people talk about Demi. Look how incredibly amazing this is.
Wow.
This is Gucci. The way this kind of frames her, it's like this accent taking flight, but then it really crescendos down the body. This is how you take what could be very kind of like themey and a little bit like theatrical and make it very red carpet. I mean, Demi Moore she's done bob this year, she's done long hair. She has literally impeccable tailoring on this. The way this cinches her body, and it also gives that illusion of like, there's like this bird coming.
Yeah, it's like
to
a peacock.
Life. She's coming.
Yeah.
She is the peacock.
Yeah.
She is the peacock.
Wow.
Again, covered in millions of dollars worth of Bouchon jewelry.
Is that the thing now, Matt? It's not only about the dress, but the jewelry as well?
I think the jewelry, accessories for men and women.
Yeah.
If you look at, Michael B. Jordan, which we're going to look at next, he's always in the David Yurman jewelry. So I think accessories for me are very important. Let's really look at Michael B. Again, what a winner. What a beautiful speech. What a moment for him, and this moment of acceptance and clarity. Let's look at the amazing tailoring here, because Louis Vuitton custom. The buttons here, the pocket here, just these, look at these little details.
Yeah.
Just like here, we're really fine-tuning those details. But we've almost got like a little street moment here with the chain here.
Yeah.
And I love that, because that's staying true to yourself. That's really, he's literally bringing himself out. Now, if you look closely at the David Yurman on his wrist there, that's where security watching him from the other side too. So you're talking about accessories, and I really love this chain moment because it's so unexpected. It's like, what's happening here? But he's young, he's fresh, he's winning the race of life right now in Hollywood. Power to you. He looks so dapper.
Yeah, not only that, but you could tell he wanted us to see it because of how he positioned his hand in the pocket.
Oh, yeah, that chain is worth $1 million. Of course he wanted you to see that. Come on now, guy.
All right, who do we have next?
Anne Hathaway. Now, did you see Anne walk out on...
I did not,
on the
no.
stage? All right, so she walked out with Anna Wintour.
Okay.
She's already in that pre-promotion for Devil Wears Prada, too. This is exquisite Valentino, 8 carats of Bulgari jewels. If we look here at this necklace, this literally reminds me of, she is like classic glam. the way this hugs her figure and crescendos in, so it's like, literally, it's not actually at the waist that it cinches in.
Yeah.
It goes down below the knee and then poofs out. This is so classic Anne, I think. Anne can make anything look great, but this to me is what, when you think Academy Awards red carpets, this is what I expect.
Yeah.
This is what I
agree.
expect.
She looks amazing.
The florals, the glam.
What about the earrings?
Baby.
Yeah.
Bulgari
Wow.
decked her out, and security's on 4 sides of that one. And they had this beautiful little moment with Anna Wintour where she's like, do you like what I'm wearing? And she's like, and the nominees are? So they're really starting to play into Devil Wears Prada too, so I'm super excited for that film as well.
Okay.
All right, another man for us, because I saw this and I was obsessed. This is a brooch on Pedro Pascal here. So Pedro's wearing the feather silk. It is so beautifully and impeccably done. It's very subdued, so this is very minimalist of him. There's no jacket, there's no coat, but this beautiful big brooch. I called Diana Marash, our friend, and I said, honey, did you dress this guy? You didn't tell me? Shout out Diana, what happened? But I really, really think that this is a major moment for men. Men have the dexterity to kind of, like just like Michael B did, keep it a little bit unexpected. This is very unexpected. There's no jacket, but look at the color. It does really give that elevation.
Yeah,
and I think
I would wear something like that.
I know
Matt.
you would, bro.
Yeah, I like that. When I saw that, I said, "Wow, that's different."
Isn't that different?
Yeah.
I that stood out for me. I was like, "Where's your jacket?" And then I was like, "Oh no, it's about the brooch."
Yeah.
And that to me was like a moment of like, this is exceptional. Again, tailoring is everything. A good tailor is your friend.
Got it.
A good tailor is your friend.
Okay.
Zoe Saldana, if we can jump to her, because this is unexpected for me. A lot of people are saying like, this is like a lingerie trend. So what are we doing this on the red carpet? Look how impeccable this is. Saint Laurent Cartier necklace. Sometimes simplicity really is your best friend.
Wow.
This is not overdone, but it's Zoe Saldana. This to me is impeccable. It does have that bodice. It does have that lingerie vibe to it. But I'm like, she's not nominated this year. She won last year. So she's a presenter this year. So you have a little wiggle room. When you think about, you look at like major nominees, they're giving the moment.
Yeah.
But presenters, they have a little freedom in this. And I think she had a great night because she's fancy-free, loose. She can breathe in that. She's not tucked in too much. She made my best dress list. Now, if you look, everybody's saying no. I was like, no, I have to give it to her because that, to me, is impeccable.
Yeah.
Taste level on 100. It's Zoe Saldana. She can never go wrong, in my opinion.
No, you're right. And yet again, the accessories. I'm looking at the jewelry.
You love a good accessory, son.
I really do.
I want to shout out quickly Audrey Nuno, which they won, so the K-pop Demon Hunters from Netflix. I love Tom Brown. So Tom Brown, we both know, very classic menswear.
Look at that.
Look at the crescendoing effect here. This, to me, she's worked with Tom Brown again for this entire award season. So this is very masculine up top, and it crescendos down into this pillowy fluff of moment. That's a winner. The song won best song. She deserves it.
I gotta ask you though, before you go, who didn't you like? What didn't you like?
Oh, can we bring up Regina Hall?
Uh-oh. Not Regina Hall, DC's own?
I'm sorry. She's getting eaten by her situation.
No.
Listen, she's overwhelmed on the neckline here. The gold clash. Even the shoe doesn't fit well. And look at that face. She's even like, I'm perplexed. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. We have a problem. Call 911 immediately.
Wow.
Last one, if we have quick time, I'm going to call out Heidi Klum. She seems to be a running trend of worst dress for me. She's eaten alive by the baiting. What is going on here? Such a beautiful woman that does nothing for figure.
It's not figure fitting.
It's not figure fitting, and it just feels like she went on a rack. That looks like a rack purchase, and I'm like, Heidi, we love you. We wish you well. We'll see you next year, baby.
So does that mean the stylist, you're fired? Is that what happens there typically?
I mean, I'm available for her.
You know what I was getting at.
I'm moving back to New York, so let's go, Heidi. Come on, Heidi. Let's go,
Matt
baby.
Dillon, the MD Effect. No one does it better than this guy. Always appreciate you joining, especially live in studio, my man.
I'm here, baby.
And you're back tomorrow.
I'm back tomorrow. You can catch me in the 9 a.m. hour of Good Day.
Good stuff. All right, guys. We'll take
Welcome to Live Zone, like it or not, Monday edition. Annie Mae here, Guy Lambert up top. Hello, guys.
Good to see you. Hey, before you get started, Joey, I wanted to shout out Annie Mae. Look at this outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday. Was it yesterday anyway?
2 days ago, Saturday night. Saturday afternoon, we had a game, and I really do have the best designers that I work with at the Caps, because look at that. It's actually made out of our jerseys that we had dropped this year, the Screaming Eagle jerseys. It's made out of 2 jerseys, stitch all up together, and it looks iconic.
Yeah. I saw you post this on the gram, and I was like, oh my God, we got to talk about it.
On the gram. You know who's always, I always say that I love a good fashion moment, but Guy is the fashion icon. You really are. You and Chad knock it out of the park.
Amazing. You know
and
what?
Joey.
Well, thank you. All right. But you know who isn't a fashion icon? Alexa, now capable of taking on 4 different personality styles, even though it's still just that little hockey puck looking thing. Users can choose from brief, chill, or sweet and sassy. If you choose the sassy version, Alexa can curse, drops an occasional curse word. Recommended for adults only. And Alexa that back talks you, Guy, like it or not.
I actually like it. Hey, Joey, can you give me my pass too? If I like it or not pass.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really like it.
Oh,
because, you know
yeah.
why? I think it's kind of cool because I like the first word every now and then, and I think it makes it more realistic when that happens. See, I told you I like it.
There you go.
And so with that being said, can you imagine like the weather today? Alexa, how's the weather? It's effing bad, guys.
Dude, that's funny. That's honestly funny. I'm going to go with not, because I have had Alexa for so long. I've had it since college. I would choose the brief option. That's what I would do, because I just feel like oftentimes I'm like, hey, what's the temperature outside? And she goes, good morning, Annie Mae. It's 7:03 a.m. and it is 37 degrees outside with a slight I'm like, girl, I just want to know if it's hot or cold. And she'll be like, do you want me to give you? I'm like, no. I go, no, I just want you to brief. And so I would choose brief. I would never choose sassy. I mean, even though I probably give it to her, I don't want her to give it back.
Yeah, my Alexa called today a perfect spring day, in case we're wondering on that. We're talking superstitions before bedtimes. Recent survey, 31% of Americans said they only feel safe sleeping on the side furthest from the door. 60% say sleeping with the door closed adds an extra layer of security. As far as comforts, 68% would rather be too cold than too hot. I don't agree with that. But generally, sleepy time superstitions, Annie Mae, like it or not?
Ooh, I would say, oh God, I don't agree with those, so not. But I do have like sleepy time superstitions. It needs to be exactly what I want it to be to sleep. It can't be too hot. It can't be too cold. I don't really care to sleep on one side or the other. It doesn't really make a difference to me security-wise, as I close it and the door's locked in the front, so I don't really care. Yeah. There was another one that I can't remember, but I'm going to go with overall not. But I have superstitions that I keep.
All right, so I like it in a major way. Why? Yeah, it's. When I walk in my room, okay, it's that side. So yeah, I'm always sleeping on that side. As a matter of fact, there's like a little indentation like in my bed because I'm always like sleeping right there. And that's the key of having, I think, a smaller bed versus a bigger bed because, like, you know, especially if you're alone, why do you need all of that bed when I'm always just on like that one little side?
Yeah.
Just, you know, yeah, I like it.
All right, we're talking a DMV controversy. UMBC and Howard playing each other tomorrow night in the NCAA men's bracket. A lot of people are excited because you got UMBC representing Maryland, you got Howard representing DC. The committee says let's put them together before the tournament technically even starts. One of them's going to be eliminated. So on the one hand, we get the DC versus Baltimore County matchup. On the other hand, though, one of them's going to be out before the tournament even starts. Annie Mae, do you like this decision or not?
You know what? I'm just going to go this because I don't know anything about basketball. Guy, go ahead. I literally don't know anything about basketball.
You're gonna like it after I say it. Yes, it's really cool. Why? Because no matter what, we still win right here, somewhat in the DMV, although some would argue Baltimore is really not a part of the DMV, so I kind of...
It's not. It is not.
College, that's who they're going to play. So, but yeah, it's still University of Maryland. I should say that, Baltimore College. But, you know, I'm a DC guy, so I'm going Howard all the way. Let's go Bison.
Do you think Baltimore is a part of the DMV?
No, absolutely
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. I'm just glad we're on the same page there, okay?
I mean, the only thing we have in common happens to be maybe Old Bay for the crabs.
Yeah.
But outside of that, heck no.
I would say
Baltimore?
I would say people in Baltimore would agree that they're not part of the DMV too. I would say like it's a okay, cool. At least we're on the same page there.
All right, we're going to sidestep that whole argument with an Oscars-related speed round. Number one.
What does Timothée Chalamet like? I know there's been a lot of conversation about him. There's a lot of interest in him in social media.
can you let us know what he's like as a real person? He's a really great guy. His mother's really nice. That whole thing about the opera. And by the way, I just put $1,000 on Kelsey walking in here that he's going to win, because I know the voting stopped long before that controversy happened. The kid is a great kid. He took a bum rap on that.
Marty's Supreme co-star Kevin O'Leary put $1,000 on Timothée Chalamet, his co-star in the movie, winning the Oscar, which he did not. So, betting on the Oscars, Guy, do you like this or not?
I really like it, especially if it's his friend, right? That's
co-star,
Yeah, you believe in your friends, right? You support your friends. And when $1,000 is only like, I don't know, 1 cent to him, who cares? You know, if it was like 1 penny, I'd do that. I'd bet on 80, man.
I like it. I think you should be able to bet on so many different things. Like, I think this is really fun. I think you should be able to bet on like things like the weather, right? I think it's fun. You should be able to do it all. I do not like, though, how the Oscars performance and everything leading up to that has to do with the voting. That's what I'm not a fan of. Like, I think it should just be based on the performance of you in the movie, and it should not be based on, you leading up and putting your foot in your mouth.
It's a campaign. Next, a tie in the Oscars.
It's a tie. I'm not joking.
No.
It's actually a tie. So everyone calm
It's
down.
actually a tie for Best Documentary Short. Annie Mae, you seem to have an opinion on this right now. What is it?
No.
You don't like a tie?
No, I don't want a tie. No!
Everyone goes
A
home happy.
winner and a loser. We need to get back to the days that there is a winner and a loser, and you are okay with losing things, and you move on with your life.
All right, Annie Mae, I'm supporting you on this.
Thank
What is
you.
this, a participation award?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Everybody gets an award for putting that out? No.
No.
So, to Annie Mae's point, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. Otherwise, what's the whole point of it all?
Well, speaking of losing while winning, look at what happened during the K-pop Demon Hunters Golden Acceptance Speech.
Jaspers, and is there anything else?
I'd like to thank the co-writer of the song goes to talk with EJ and is cut off by the music. So, music cutting off speeches, do you like it or not, Guy?
Yeah, absolutely. Why? Because some people are long-winded. You got to learn when to shut up. So in this case, pretty soon you're going to start playing the music for us.
Okay, I like it in some situations. I don't in other situations. I feel bad. Let the guy talk for like 2 seconds. But also, you need to be aware if you're talking and you have 2 other people to talk, that you need to be aware of your time and allow those other people to talk.
It's all about me, Annie Mae.
Right?
It's all about
It's all about Guy.
Hey, we do this each and every day right here on the Live Zone. We call it Live Zone. Now, like it or not, Annie Mae, producer Joey. We'll be right back.
Welcome in at 2 o'clock. Welcome into the Take It 2. I'm Rita Morocco. As you know, it's been a very crazy day, and we thank you for sticking with Fox 5 and, of course, with Fox Local. We're going to get you all started, all covered. Don't you worry. But on today's Take, schools and public buildings across the DMV closing due to the severe weather that we're experiencing. We're going to check in with our weather team about what we can expect heading into tonight. Plus, a bill to bring a casino to Fairfax County heading to the governor's desk. Details on what changes were made over the weekend. And the Nats, they are adding to their roster how you can get involved with their new addition. Let's get this party started. Let's grab our Sharon Roger on this Monday. Things are crazy. Oh, we're on the same wavelength.
Look at us. We look like twins. This is the winner that keeps on giving.
I guess. I mean, seriously, other than the fact that